On this episode of Ice Pilots NWT, Buffalo Joe has a meltdown over an operational screw-up.
Big damn T-shirt uncovered.
C-46 Captain Devin Brooks faces a tough decision over a job offer in Africa. And a Brit and his dog struggle to make it to a remote outpost to start a new life.
I feel like I'm in a Second World War movie.
Hang on to your hats, boy.
February has turned into a busy month at Buffalo Airways.
40 pounds.
The staff is scrambling to prepare 2 firefighting CL-215 water bombers for delivery to Turkey, on the other side of the world. Company president Joe McBryan made the $7 million sale with the Turkish government weeks ago.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure.
But the deal has one proviso: deliver the planes by early March.
I was pretty happy that it went through and everything, and everyone was happy. On the other flip side is that we got a very serious job to do.
The low-flying, short-haul CL-215s are not made to traverse continents, especially not in frigid temperatures. They're used in summer to scoop water off lakes for firefighting. And then there's the small matter of getting them across the stormy North Atlantic in winter. Once the boys leave Red Deer on the 215s, they'll cross Canada with stopovers in Winnipeg, Montreal, and St. John's. From there, the most dangerous leg of the journey to Turkey begins. A 2,200-kilometer flight across the Atlantic to the Azores, with nothing in between but open water.
And this isn't like your lake at your cottage water. This is rolling seas, high winds.
That's got Buffalo's mechanics working around the clock to turn these boats with wings into intercontinental aircraft.
We put a lot of time and effort into it, a lot of research, a lot of background, and this is one we'll watch very closely.
Good to go, boys.
But a big family event is making things even more complicated.
Well, my sister's getting married.
Sister Kathy's wedding isn't at the town hall. It's in Las Vegas.
Who we knew that had been to Turkey, who had flown
With
over
Joe so focused on the water bomber contract, the rest of the McBryans are wondering if he'll be there to give Kathy away.
Well, he's been told he's going, and he's trying everything to come up with an excuse not to, I think.
Mikey, on the other hand, is looking forward to the trip.
I went for lunch, and I got a frickin' fortune cookie here. It says, need some adventure and enjoyment, take a vacation.
Mikey's following his cookie's advice.
All I'm thinking right now is Las Vegas.
But that means making sure nothing falls through the cracks while he's gone.
Today's the day I gotta train Sandy here to replace me. I'm heading down to Vegas tonight.
Sandy Sutton has been working at Buffalo long enough to be game for anything.
So first we'll talk to the airplane.
What am I asking him?
Just what time you'll be down.
Yes, good morning, PNR. Just wondering what your ETA is?
Everything you got is on these keys. One's the ticket counter, one's the medic room.
It's a critical time to be away.
Yeah, keep lock on it.
Mikey is betting that preparations for the dangerous water bomber delivery to Turkey is well in hand. Enough, he hopes, for some fun in Vegas.
Might as well take these. Packing her up. Well, I don't need a toque. This says Buffalo. My hat's Buffalo. Black t-shirt's Buffalo. Hoodie's Buffalo. Even my watch is Buffalo.
From the land of ice to the city of lights.
Here you go, 125. Holy shit. They got a sewing kit in here.
Hello.
Holy my sister. Kelly! How's it going?
Oh, you're here.
You get married?
Some people told me that. I didn't. Oh.
Bitch.
Are we related?
And it's apple juice.
Yeah, mine too. 50 of our closest friends are running around looking for you guys.
Okay, just give her bye-bye work, bye-bye y'all, and viva Las Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Thank you, sir.
And Mikey's not thinking about what's happening back in Yellowknife.
It's when we leave north of 60, it gets a little crazy.
The next morning, he's hungover and half awake when the office calls to confirm a booking. A customer is moving house and home to the tiny Arctic outpost of Paulatuck the day after tomorrow. But right now, Mikey can barely tell the time.
Holy smokers. Today's the day of the wedding. We're hoping it wasn't at noon. It's either noon or 5.
And then, it's time for the wedding ceremony. Here comes the groom. Here comes the bride. And here's the father of the bride. Joe kept everyone guessing right up until the end.
No. Do you take him as your husband?
I do.
It is a Kathy Day, but we really want to celebrate it. So we will dance on these tables tonight. They're glass, I hope.
I'm really happy you dressed up for the occasion. That means a lot.
The McBryans know how to party. But it seems that Mikey is all partied out. Back from a wild few days in Vegas, Mikey gets some bad news. There's a scheduling screw-up on the charter he booked, and Joe's not happy.
Had we paid attention to Buffalo, there wouldn't have been a pull up in the charter. How long have we known about it? We can argue about it forever. It's a screw up. We did one charter this month, we screwed it up.
Before Vegas, Mikey sent 2 of Buffalo's top pilots south to Red Deer to stand by to fly the water bombers to Turkey, leaving no one available to fly the charter to Paulatuck.
You know, that was supposed to be, you know what, reason that thing's up there?
Yeah.
So we would go through this bullshit every day of maybe this, maybe that. You guys are maybe, and I gotta off. Tired of this shit.
Yeah, he's not in a good mood today. He yelled at me for 25 minutes. He leads by example of giving people shit.
Now, Joe's taking charge of the situation, and that means another surprise trip, this time south to Buffalo's hangar in Red Deer, Alberta.
Okay, Matt. You can pull them out.
It's here that Buffalo pilots Arnie Schrader and Justin Simley are waiting to depart for Turkey on the CL-215 water bombers.
It's just exciting for us, exciting for everybody. They've been trying to sell those airplanes for a while. And
though the planes are prepped and ready, Buffalo still hasn't received a $250,000 delivery fee from Turkey. So Joe's decreed that no one is going anywhere. And he's furious that Mikey sent Arnie and Justin to Red Deer to stand by when a pilot is needed now for the charter.
Do I need 2? No. I think I stood right outside there on my cell phone. My phone said, "Dig damn shirt, I'm covered." Before those 2 guys come out,
you know, here we are in Red Deer. There's somebody screwed up somewhere along the line.
We talked to Mike, and I thought it was arranged. They had enough coverage.
Thought
right?
doesn't mean shit.
Enough discussion. Joe takes action and pulls Justin out of Red Deer so he can fly the charter.
You guys have a good time. We'll see you later.
This morning, he was in Red Deer, Alberta. Now, Captain Justin Simley arrives in Hay River, Northwest Territories, 1,300 kilometers away. He's going to pilot a charter flight to the edge of the Arctic Ocean. At Buffalo Air, you have to be able to adapt to sudden changes.
I'm surprised to be here.
Justin came to Buffalo straight out of flight school. 8 years later, he has no plans to leave.
You know, it's a bit of a frontier in a way, and yeah, it's where the excitement comes in. It's exciting.
Who's this? This is Juno.
His charter passenger, Keith Dowling, is at a major turning point.
Can we get someone to grab that, maybe? And I'll look after the dog.
Although he grew up in Buckinghamshire, England, Keith settled in the Northwest Territories 20 years ago. For the past 9 years, he's been working at a charitable society in Fort Smith.
This is a huge, life-changing commitment as far as I'm concerned, where I'm moving from a place, my home of 20 years, to Paulatuck.
Now, he's leaving Fort Smith, a town of 2,500 people, to become a housing manager in the remote Inuit community of Paulatuck. Population, 250. It's a 7-hour flight from Hay River north to Paulatuck. But Keith and his dog Juno might not be going anywhere right now.
Forecast to be 45 knots out of the south-southwest, so I suspect if we carried on bravely, we'd probably get stuck in a nasty-ass Arctic storm up there, so.
Hey, Justin, how are you? I'm good. And you? Be nice to get somewhere, boys.
Oh, kidding. Well, we could go up there and...
It's a bit... I've just spoken to Paulatuck like right now. It's fairly clear now, but the wind is picking up, and there is a blizzard warning for later this afternoon.
Yeah, we're well aware of that, so it's going to be a few hours getting up there, and Paulatuck is not a good place to go when it's when there's a blizzard happening. So I think we're going to sit tight today. It's supposed to clear up tomorrow, and we'll get going first thing in the morning. When are you available to leave tomorrow?
As soon as you are.
Yeah, he was a little frustrated. Maybe a little abrasive at first.
I should pick that up, Buffalo Airways, the Go Nowhere airline. For me, this is some like massive undertaking, right? I just want to get there and get the thing underway, right? Get my stuff unpacked.
You can understand the guy's point of view. I mean, he was gearing himself up for a big move, you know, big change in his life. We'd get up there, and even if we get in the blizzard, the locals wouldn't come out to the airport. Nobody goes to the airport if there's a southwest wind over 15 knots.
I mean, that's windy, eh?
Because it throws a lot of turbulence, and there's been a few accidents up there because of it.
Paulatuck's fierce southwest wind is legendary. No one knows the dangers of the north better than that old bush pilot, Buffalo Joe McBryan.
It's extremely turbulent in there. Airplanes become almost uncontrollable, which is very rare for airplanes to be uncontrollable in wind. Nobody's been able to explain to me, and I've asked a lot of the experienced people around there, how come I can control my airplane any other wind, but this one I seem to just be too violent for me.
The Inuit residents of Paulatuck believe a bad spirit is to blame. And Joe is not so sure they're wrong.
Well, the myth has led to airplanes not get caught up in that wind and busting themselves.
The locals believe that it's a bad omen. There's been a few airplanes that have crashed there in that wind shear.
Keith is anxious to get to Paulatuck, but the move will have to wait at least one more day.
We're not going to mess around with that storm up there. And hopefully it clears up in the morning.
What can you do? Not much.
Back in Yellowknife, it's a special day for Buffalo shipping assistant Janelle Glenn.
It's my birthday, my 21st birthday.
Got the blankie?
Janelle's getting treated to a day of dog sledding, thanks to her boyfriend, Buffalo Captain Devin Brooks.
Spoiler today, and I don't have to do it again for a long time.
And we're off. See ya.
The couple met when Janelle started working at Buffalo a few months ago.
We started dating, and here we are. She's living here. That's it.
He just likes me the way that I am, and he's very smart and funny.
At 28, Devin's the youngest captain of the C-46, the toughest plane to fly in Buffalo's fleet.
It's a different airplane to fly than anything I've flown. It's one of the hardest to fly in the world, so it gives you self-satisfaction that I did go captain on it. I'll take that to the next job.
And Devin's not wasting any time.
I'm ready for something new. My dream is to make captain at a major airline. And I know I will eventually.
But first, he's lined up an interview for a job flying for the UN in Africa.
Going to Africa and flying over there is just a different adventure I would like to do before the major airline.
If he wants it, then that's good. He just has to make sure that he knows that he wants it, you know?
And Devin doesn't seem to want to stay in the North.
I think he'll miss it when he leaves, and right now he probably just doesn't know that yet.
She needs to do what she wants to do and make her own life, and what happens between her and I, like I say, time will tell.
Soon enough. Devin's off to Vancouver tomorrow for the job interview. It's early morning at the Hay River Airport.
Oh man, that sucks.
And Justin Simley, the captain of Buffalo's charter flight to the remote village of Polituck, isn't liking the latest weather report.
It's calling it locally half-mile and blowing snow. Winds out of the south at 25 knots. It's too windy. Visibility's too low.
The only storm in the entire Arctic is right over his destination.
We're trying to get it done here, but the weather doesn't seem to be cooperating, so.
Buffalo Joe checks in before he heads to Yellowknife for the day.
This afternoon it's supposed to be good, and tomorrow is good on the public forecast.
It'll be tomorrow.
Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, yeah, do it.
Okay.
Instead of waiting out the storm in Hay River, Justin decides to fly to the town of Norman Wells up the Mackenzie Valley. That should get them within striking distance of Polituck.
You know, at least if we make it to the Wells, we're 2 hours away as opposed to 6 or 7, eh? So that's why we're doing this.
Justin gives co-pilot Sean Barry the go-ahead to prep the plane for takeoff. The DC-3 is credited with opening up passenger plane service in the 1930s. It proved itself in all kinds of conditions. In war, on remote airstrips, over jungles, deserts, and tundra. After a day's delay, passenger Keith Dowling is relieved to finally get going.
Well, at least we're going somewhere today. We're going, come here, we'll be a lot closer, and the whole point, according to the captain, is we should, even if we only get a little opening, we get straight in there.
I think he was happy to be on the move, you know, to just get out of Hay River and get at least a little bit closer to his new home.
On this charter flight, the expat Brit is moving house and home to a tiny Inuit outpost on the edge of the Arctic Ocean.
Everybody I know, my friends and people, think I'm quite mad to be going somewhere like Polituck. I didn't want to go there completely alone, so I figured I'd take my dog. She ain't gonna like this. Come here. You did good. Now don't get off. Get off. Come here. You know. I'm just wondering if she needs to go to the toilet because maybe nerves. Come here, Gino. Ah. Give me a hand here.
In Yellowknife, there's good news. Buffalo Flight Ops Director Mike Hanley has just received the delivery fee he's been waiting for from the Turkish government. Now the water bombers can set off overseas.
With that paperwork, we're fully approved and the guys in Red Deer have been notified this morning.
But it's still not a go. Chief Pilot Arnie Schrader has a new obstacle to overcome.
I don't know what to tell you there. We got to get in hangar. That's the big problem.
I sent you that sheet yesterday saying there's no space until Monday, so if they get us...
They can't leave Red Deer until Sandy Sutton at head office can find hangar space for the CL-215 water bombers in Winnipeg. Their first stop on the cross-Canada flight.
You know, okay, thanks, bye. Like, that's Arnie. That's the head guy. He's fighting with me. Like, we got to get these planes. We can't go. And it's like, well, Arnie, I can only do what you can do, right? He's fighting with me saying they got to have 2 hangar spaces. But I've been telling these guys all along, there is not 2 hangar spaces like that.
They said no. She's still working on it.
Arnie talks it over with lead mechanic Corey Dodd.
Yeah, one's no good. We have them both in.
It's going to take over half a day to warm it up, eh?
Yeah. Of course, these airplanes are designed for summertime operations, and we're doing this in a winter environment.
Normally, the 215 only flies in the summer months, fighting fires. This slow-flying boat with wings can scoop up 1,400 gallons of water in just 10 seconds. To get the water bombers to their new owner in Turkey, Buffalo must fly them there now, in February. But they're not winter planes. The 215s are vulnerable to extreme cold.
These airplanes are not designed to be parked in those type of temperatures. You have to get them in a hangar to make them operate properly.
And I'm just wondering if you might be able to have room for a couple of CL-215s.
If Sandy can't find 2 hangar spots to keep the water bombers warm after their first leg of the journey, there won't be any journey at all.
So 95% booked almost everywhere. Different places have enough room for 1 plane, but they don't have room for 2.
With just 21 days left to get the planes to Turkey as contracted, this sale could already be in jeopardy. His friends think he's crazy, but now there's no turning back for Keith Dowling. Traveling on board a Buffalo Airways DC-3, he's moving himself, his dog Juno, and all his worldly goods to take a job in Paulatuck, a remote Inuit village of 250 souls.
We can reasonably describe the experience as rustic. A friend of mine actually said to me, whatever you do, take a plastic bag with you. He said, because if the worst happens and you need to puke or take a piss, or if you absolutely can't help yourself, it's either shit your pants or jump out the plane. He said, you'll be glad you took one of these.
It will take 5 hours just to get to a stopover in Norman Wells. So Keith moves up to the cockpit to chat with Captain Justin Simley.
So how are you feeling? You feeling good about the move to Paulatuck?
Oh, I'm up for it. And, you know, obviously when you leave your home of 20 years, and for me that's Paul Smith, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're leaving some people behind, you're leaving some friends behind, you're leaving all your comfort zone behind.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Paulatuck is actually really beautiful in the summer. The land around it turns green, and every time I've been there, you know, it's, the reception has been warm, so I think you're going to enjoy living there. As long as you can get out every now and again, you know.
Yeah, as I said, I'll be able to get out on business and 2 or 3 times to see my psychiatrist.
Yeah, well, like I said, if you get there for 2 or 3 days and you want to walk out, just phone us, we'll come get you. Don't walk back to Fort Smith.
Keith has no intention of walking out. He just wants to get there and get settled in. In Vancouver, Buffalo's youngest captain, Devin Brooks, is cleaned up and dressed to impress. It's Valentine's Day, but instead of being home in Yellowknife with his girlfriend Janelle, he has a job interview with an airline that flies for the UN in Africa.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is 747.
He's kept quiet about it at Buffalo in case things don't go as planned.
You could blow it, say something stupid. They might not like you just for who your personality is. You You might not get offered the job you want.
In Yellowknife, Mikey's already on to him.
He's leaving for 2 days in the middle of the week, and he didn't give an explanation. He just said he wants 2 days off. And usually what that means is that someone's leaving to do a airline interview. I'm not saying that Devin's doing it, it's just I've seen it before.
You don't really want to make it known that you're looking to get out before you're actually out.
Still, after 2 years in the frozen north, Devin is looking for something new.
I'd gladly trade in them snow pants and parka and beaver pelt of a hat or whatever they're called for a suit and tie and a pair of dress shoes. I'd trade that in pretty soon. I do really want this job. I'm thinking of it as a stepping stone, just like Buffalo was.
And for now, Devin's trying not to think about the impact this job in Africa would have on his relationship with Janelle. He's taking things one step at a time. High above the Mackenzie Valley, Justin and Keith are already thinking about their next step.
So you think it's looking good for us to get over the line today?
Geez, I sure hope so. It's tough for me to tell because nobody's picking up the phone in Politics, and that doesn't give me a good feeling, you know. When nobody's at the airport, they should be there. 95-107 on profile, showing 750 down.
After a 5-hour flight, they make it to the settlement of Norman Wells.
Rep +2.
We need touchdown at 3.
Justin needs to check on the weather over Pawlatuck. Maybe it's cleared up enough for them to continue on today. Keith and Juno have more urgent needs to take care of.
What my dog is saying is, never mind that, I've got to go to the toilet. Juno. Good girl.
Keith hopes this is just a short pit stop.
Keith, my good man.
So, I've never been in an air traffic control place. Hello, air traffic controller.
Keith is moving to Pawlatuck.
Very slowly.
We're just looking at the Pawlatuck weather, and it's still windy as hell. It's still 27 knots, so
right.
Pretty high to be going in there, but it is smartening up. I mean, it's come down about 20, 30 knots from what it was. Doesn't look like the storm's going to let up today, so...
I mean, good for us tomorrow morning, probably early.
We'll call her a day at that and try it in the morning.
A bed for the night is in order.
Let's go.
In Yellowknife, Janelle Glenn is waiting to hear from her boyfriend Devin about his interview for a job in Africa. Her roommate and Buffalo co-pilot Scott Blue remembers when Janelle arrived in town.
She shows up, and before she shows up, her auntie's like, "Ooh, Scott, you're gonna have to meet my niece. She's coming up. She's young, she's beautiful. You'll like her so much." I'm like, "Cool." I go on vacation. I come back. Devin beat me to the punch.
But it's Scott who's spending Valentine's Day with Janelle, although her mind is elsewhere.
I'm gonna call Devin to see how his interview went, and hopefully he answers or shut off his cell phone if he's still in the interview. Hey Devin, it's me. Just give me a call when you're done your interview or whatever you're doing. Okay, love you, bye.
The interview's over, and Devin's facing a big decision.
They offered me something that I need to think about. A job in the Congo, Sudan, or Uganda. One of the three. Oh, I'm excited, but I got thinking to do now, so I've already started that.
He's got a 4-hour flight to consider his options, and just a few minutes before he boards to let Janelle know how it went.
He got a job in Africa. He won't tell me what airplane or anything, but he doesn't sound excited. I thought he'd be more excited or something, but...
Africa's a long way from Yellowknife.
Wandering the streets of Norman Wells, Justin, Keith, and the crew are discovering that there are only a few hotels in town.
It's a f***ing ghost town.
I've never been here in winter.
And it seems none are open year-round.
What do you want to do there, Chief?
Where's the next one?
Oh, down the road.
Oh, we need a f***ing ride.
Finally, after a frustrating search, success.
Cozy, to say the least.
Sort of.
That's it, man.
This is what it looks like. It ain't a lot for $2.29, is it? One of the other hotels we tried, we go to, they're not even serving lunch today because it's Saturday. Makes some sense of that. But they are serving supper tonight, but it's only one menu, and it's the Valentine's menu.
They had the tables all set up. You know, all the couples were having dinner in there, dressed up in their suits, and we kind of come walking in our oil-stained and Carhartts stinking like avgas, you know, and sweat. It was pretty funny. Cheers to that.
And
Cheers. Pleasure to meet you, Keith.
Yeah, for sure. Cheers, guys.
I can think of 100 other places I'd rather be on Valentine's Day.
Cheers.
All the stuff Keith was saying.
They're all smiles now, but the honeymoon will be over if they're still stuck here tomorrow. It's a new day and another chance for Justin and the DC-3 crew to get their passengers, Keith and Juno the dog, to their new home in Paulituck.
The viz is up now. It's 8 miles, so it's come up from 1.5 miles this morning. So
The storm over the tiny Inuit town on the edge of the Arctic Ocean is dying down. This could be the window of opportunity that Justin has been waiting for.
it's not perfect conditions, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was yesterday, and it's doable.
Hopefully, we actually get into the air and get to Paulituck. We're en route to Paulituck, and it looks like things are good.
And we're out at 2,500 this time.
Keith finally gets his first glimpse of Paulituck, where his new life is about to begin.
And nothing on the strip.
Well, obviously we just circled the runway to make sure it was clear. Looks like it's been recently ploughed. I got a little glimpse of the hamlet, town. Couldn't see much else.
The reality of this life-changing move is hitting Keith.
Well, I mean, I hope I take to Paulituck. I hope I take to the people of Paulituck, and likewise they take to me. That would be a very nice situation.
Final check.
75 over 879. Final check. Good. Not bad.
It's pretty calm.
Yeah, you're getting off in a minute. Come here. Just if I can disembark without dislocating myself. Whoa, Juno. My name's Keith.
The local people come out to greet the new arrivals.
Very nice to meet you.
What's the dog's name?
Hey, no jumping. The dog's name's Juno. Thank you, boys.
Pleasure, man. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, anytime.
A very, very interesting 4 days.
Couple of days.
5 days. Well done.
Right on.
See you guys.
Take care.
Yeah. Fire hole. That goes in the bedroom too.
I think his reaction was maybe a little bit nervous, but mostly excited and relieved that he was finally there.
That's what the North's all about, is meeting new people and new beginnings and a bit of an adventure. One of the last frontiers, you know. That's why all us guys are up here.
Mission completed. Justin's flown to the frozen edge of the Arctic Ocean. Now, his mind turns to his next mission, flying water bombers on an even longer, more dangerous journey across the Atlantic Ocean to Turkey.
Great to get the job done. Then your mind switches into turkey mode. That was the next thing.
Returning to Buffalo HQ in Yellowknife, Captain Devin Brooks has had a change of heart about the job offer to fly for the UN in Africa.
The interview was good, but then I got thinking about it on the way back, and that wasn't the job for me. I'd rather stay in Canada.
I think it was a hard decision for him to turn down the job, but I don't think he was ready to leave here anyway. I'm glad that he decided to stay, for sure.
I'm happy. Not taking the job in Africa with the other company is no big deal. I don't know. It just wasn't for me.
So Devin's not going anywhere, for now. And neither is Janelle.
Here we are, in the Hacienda in Red Deer.
After flying a charter to the Arctic Ocean and back, Captain Justin Simley joins the rest of the Buffalo crew destined for Turkey.
They did get her in the barn, right on.
By contract, Buffalo only has 3 weeks left to deliver the water bombers. Problem is, they still haven't found a hangar to house the planes at their first overnight stop in Winnipeg.
Basically, if you can't find hangar space, then we can't leave the airplanes outside to freeze up.
We started them in the cold, the engines will start. But it'll bust those lines, got frozen oil in them, it'll bust those coolers out in the wing, so. That's one of the big problems.
Hey, Mike, Sandy around? Thanks.
Justin jumps right into the hangar issue. He calls Sandy at Buffalo HQ for an update.
Hey, Sandra, how are you? I'm here and you're working hard. What do we got? Where's the hope? You are tenacious, that is for sure. All right. Arnie, we got hangars in Winnipeg.
Oh, we got them? Yeah, okay.
Air Canada will take one for sure.
Okay. Kelly Western?
Kelly Western may or may not, but if they don't, Air Canada will put the other one in. They got a jet going out at midnight. They'll throw it in.
Okay.
So, well, yeah, it was looking pretty sour there for a minute, but yeah, things are picking up. It'd be nice to get the show on the road for sure.
Flying the 2 planes to Turkey will gobble up over 60,000 liters of fuel. Now that the Turks have paid up, Buffalo Joe's got gas money.
32,000. We got it all now, so we can go back to the airport and divide up among the boys.
It's too much pressure for one guy to carry 30,000 in his pocket. You know, if he loses it, then all the guys are mad at him, eh? I got 4,000 a piece for everybody here.
We can't spend that 4,000. That's for gas.
We'll be burning it in the life raft to keep warm.
Yeah.
The guys can joke about the dangers, but this trip is not to be taken lightly.
The North Atlantic's very difficult this time of year to fly over because there's all kinds of lows in there. And, it's very difficult to get across there. Temperatures are, 30 to 40 below.
Weather's a huge thing. It's just real important when you're going on a trip like that. Everything has to be right, because if you screw something up, things can go very bad very quickly.
Justin will be flying with Arnie. The other water bomber will be flown by Dave Poole from Red Deer and George Fury, just arrived from Newfoundland.
Well, I gotta get a hot drop of coffee, man.
Also arriving today is Buffalo's cargo manager, Kelly Jurasovic.
Bring it on.
She's flown in from Yellowknife to give the boys a proper send-off on this dangerous journey.
Good. It's beer o'clock, my honey.
Kelly's been at Buffalo just over a year. During that time, she's forged a strong friendship with Chief Pilot Arnie Schrader.
He's 66, but he's my buddy. He took me under his wing when I got here, and he's one of my best friends. And I'm fortunate to know him.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
Oh, Dave Poole.
So Kelly wants to say goodbye to Arnie and the crew in person.
Hi, nice to meet you.
This is a long trip for Arnie, especially at his age, too, That concerns me.
Well, you look pretty good and relaxed.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's a bit worried, but I don't think he's, letting everybody know that.
Arnie, good luck on your trip. And good luck, you guys, on your trip. I'm glad I got to be here and see you guys before you got to take off.
And after chewing out his pilots just days ago, Joe is feeling good about the team he's put together for this daring adventure.
If you look at all the different aspects of the background of all these guys, I don't think there could be a better crew assembled to do a job like we're going to start on right now. Well, I'll miss you guys.
He said he's going to miss you.
Yeah.
With 3 weeks to deliver a pair of CL-215 water bombers to Turkey, the two Buffalo flight crews gear up for the journey of their lives. The first water bomber will be flown by two of Buffalo's best, Arnie Schrader and Justin Simley.
Justin and I have flown along together lots. He worked with me on 215s for a few years. So it's just natural for us.
Their in-flight mechanic will be Corey Dodd. Mechanics Norm Byrne and Matt Belanger will be in the second 215, piloted by Dave Poole and George Fury.
It's an adventure for all of us to do this type of a trip.
We'll get them later.
Yeah, we'll get another shot.
For those left behind, like Kelly Jurasovic, it's a difficult goodbye.
Take it easy.
Oh, yes, we will be.
I love you so much.
We'll be
Love
careful.
you.
See you, dear.
I'm sure we're all just going to be sweating until we get the phone call that they made it. You know, 'cause it's a long trip for those guys. Long trip.
Smile.
Yeah, I got you. 5.
All clear on my side.
Tiger 299 plus 1, go. Oh, ready for taxi, take off, sir. Tiger 299 plus 1, hold short of Charlie.
I'm worried about Arnie and Justin going to Turkey, and I think they're real damn brave to do that for Joe. I just hope they make it safe and everybody's okay.
Buffalo 298, right there, radio, going. Go ahead, come on down. I'll just wait for you. You can turn right around in front of me and go ahead. We're over the tower, holding short of runway 36, 99 plus 1.
All the planning and preparing behind them. Now, it's finally time to fly.
Tower confirmed 299 plus 1's cleared for takeoff. Tiger 299, clear takeoff, 31 right, turn out.
And we're rolling.
On the next episode of Ice Pilots NWT, the Feds shut down Buffalo's flagship service.
This is a notice of suspension for your flight.
Wannabe pilot Rahman faces a life-changing decision.
I'm totally confused.
That could scuttle his friend Jeremy's dreams too. And the water bomber crews face danger on a daring wintertime flight across Canada.
We can't see with the weather ahead of us.
Tonight,
The winds in the field are 100, 15, gusting 20.
Andrew's days at Buffalo could be numbered.
And right now, your best friend is your rudder.
Tyler hits new highs as a stunt pilot.
No idea, but I can hear him like getting stalked at night.
And new lows with Joe.
Wire depends on the airplane.
Fucking incompetence. God damn it.
Hang on to your hats, boy.
Buffalo's morning passenger flight leaves Hay River heading for Yellowknife.
I think you're supposed to check before you start your roll if you got gear pressure or not. Yes, sir, we got 300. No, you don't. You got 250. You're up. Roger.
Captain Joe McBryan's not in a good mood.
So you're with. Roger, go.
And it's going to get even worse for co-pilot Tyler Sipos. He's forgotten to load some of this trip's cargo, and Joe is seething.
How many pallets of general freight did you leave behind?
It was 2.
I got 50 customers. The freight's going to get there at 11 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock on the doorstep. What kind of service is that? I wonder when I seen the airplane was empty and I walked in it.
That was my decision, Joe.
Well, you're going to be off this thing pretty quick.
Yes, sir.
Even after a year and a half sweating it out on Joe's ramp, a simple mistake puts Tyler deep in the doghouse.
If things don't run smoothly in Hay River, it can upset things up in Yellowknife. It's the first thing in the morning with Joe, and if it puts him in a bad mood, it can, it just carries on through the day.
How to get it there is what our business is, not how to leave it for somebody else. Now, you left Graham there to handle the rest of the freight. How do you think that's going to go over? He could handle f***ing freight if he's sitting in your seat.
He just gets into moods, and so whatever. You take it as it comes.
Tyler might try to be philosophical, but Joe's been on his case lately a lot. And it's going to get a lot worse before this week is over. 14,000 kilometers southwest, Adelaide, Australia is a world away from Yellowknife.
Go full flap.
Selected. Refining checks complete. Minimums. Autopilot's coming off. Clear to land.
And Buffalo co-pilot Andrew Vike's been here landing jumbo jets, at least virtually in a simulator.
30, 20, 10. Nice job. And we'll give you some reverse right here. There we go. Cool. Welcome to Los Angeles.
After 3 years working his way up the Buffalo food chain from rookie rampy to DC-3 co-pilot, Andrew has a shot at a job with Cathay Pacific, the third largest airline in the world.
This is what your life will become, watching computer screens.
Pretty much. The program, it's an advanced entry course where I would go to Australia for 6 months, do some training. I would then move to Hong Kong, where Cathay's based, and do a type training on an airplane. I would ultimately become a second officer for them.
If Andrew passes his flight testing and gets accepted into the program, he'll fly massive jets like the 747, a huge leap from the old warbirds he's used to.
I would love to fly the 747. That's the one plane that I remember looking up at as a kid and just saying, yeah, I want to be a pilot, and that's the reason why.
But there's no job on the table quite yet. So Andrew arrives back in Yellowknife, where his roommate Matt Foster has been waiting for him.
Good trip?
It's good, yeah.
When do you find out if you made the cut or not?
I'm hoping to find out actually sometime this week, and if I pass, got my resignation ready to go.
Excellent.
We'll see what Joe says this time, eh?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be another Gord exit.
I wouldn't talk to him today.
When Gord Cooling quit last year, after racking up training costs for the company, Buffalo Joe went ballistic.
Right, why do you spend my money?
I didn't have an interview then. I didn't know I got the job.
Hey, get the out of here right now. Get the out of here right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Thursday I had off, Friday I left.
So Andrew's been hedging his bets and hasn't even told his boss there's a chance he might be leaving.
I figured my chance of making it this far was relatively slim. Where's Joe? In his office, or?
He's on this side somewhere.
Okay, I'll find him.
But now that he's getting close, Andrew feels he owes Joe fair warning.
He provided me basically with my first job in the industry, and although he makes us work a little hard, we owe it to him, right? So that was my reasoning for telling Joe.
Andrew's been on the receiving end of a lot of Joe's wrath over the last couple of years.
But when I see a performance like you seen this morning, I know f***ing well you don't know. Start talking about quitting, I'll have you out of here in 5 minutes after I land, and I guarantee it.
Now, Andrew's bracing himself for more.
So they flew you over to where?
Adelaide, Australia.
What did they ask you on the interview?
Joe wants to know what Andrew's been telling the big boys about his airline.
They asked me if I ever had any emergencies or incidents, so I had to tell them about the engine shutdowns.
On what airplane?
The DC-3.
You told them about 2 shutdowns.
That's right.
And they asked you why you want to fly for Cathay Pacific?
Absolutely.
And what did you tell them?
The honest answer is I wanted to fly the 47 since I was a little kid.
Did they want any references?
I used one from flight school, and Justin as the other.
And what did he say?
They didn't follow.
Maybe you failed.
Maybe I did. I hope not, but we'll find out. I told him, like, I'd love to fly here for another couple of years, but if I don't take advantage of the opportunity now, I may never have this again, right?
Wish you lots of luck.
Thanks, Joe.
Andrew seems to have dodged a bullet for now.
He's definitely disappointed, but at the same time, he knows that this is inevitable. People are going to move on.
If the Cathay job doesn't come through, Joe could make Andrew's life at Buffalo very painful. Out on the highway, Tyler's heading to pick up Buffalo's newest employee. Because on top of all his other jobs, Tyler's in charge of hiring new grunts to work the Hay River ramp.
So I haven't had the best of luck. The last guy we had here started Thursday morning, and he quit Tuesday morning. Guy before him lasted 4 hours. He quit before 10 o'clock. It's kind of affects me because it's kind of my reputation. I've hired the past couple of guys. I hired this guy, so.
Tyler's hopes are stacked on the narrow shoulders of 21-year-old Brian Burke.
Hey, Mikey. Mikey, Brian.
Brian?
Brian, Mikey.
Nice to meet you. You got boots?
Yep.
Ready to go?
Oh, we got a new pair of boots here. Fresh meat.
How you doing?
How you doing? Good. Strong handshake. See what he can do, eh?
Tyler's batting average ain't really there right now, so we'll see how Brian works out. And I have faith that someone can do the job.
Just hope I don't freeze.
Brian's learning there's no settling in time at Buffalo. He's going right to work.
Yeah. Should have rubbed them in the dirt.
That'll be the last time they're that clean ever.
Should have bought a black pair.
These used to be white. Here, I'll give this to you. Just pass it up. We'll start a line.
And there's an even more important lesson Tyler needs him to learn.
When Joe speaks, you shut up and listen. Don't complain. Everybody knows it's tough. Complaining just makes you look like a wimp. Hard work is recognized here and greatly appreciated, because the more work you do, the less work other people have to do.
But Brian's willing to tough it out for the chance to sit in this seat for real.
I figured it was going to be all thrown at you at once, and if you don't keep up, go home, so.
Tonight, Brian's off to Hay River to begin his training.
Buffalo 168, clear to the Hay River Airport by the Yellowknife 1, departure flight plan for squawk 4532.
Tired of playing rampy roulette, Tyler's riding along as well to help train Brian and watch his back.
We don't want to scare him off right off the bat. And so these other guys can, you know, poke fun at him, but I'll be the good guy this time.
And if Tyler's good guy routine fails, he'll be back working the Hay River ramp himself until he can find a new guy who can cut it. "200 kilometers southwest of Yellowknife, it's time for Tyler to give new Rampy Brian the grand tour of the Hay River Staff House.
I don't know which room they're gonna put you in, but
The accommodations were a little underwhelming for the last couple of new rampies, and Tyler needs this rampy to stick around.
Matt decided you're gonna take this one over here. So you're getting a new bed, but for now.
Buffalo provides the Hay River crew with free housing. It's up to them to keep it clean.
I wouldn't look in here right now.
Just like home.
The old crack shack, eh?
Oh, yeah. The place wasn't quite set up as nicely as, so hopefully that doesn't scare him away.
The next morning, while Brian's out learning the courier route, Tyler puts himself on special assignment.
Quite frankly, this place is a little disgusting, so.
If you were to show up at a job and this is the accommodations, you expect me to shower in that bathroom? Just filthy, absolutely filthy.
We're gonna start with the bathroom, which is probably the worst. I'm just uncomfortable being here right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and douse everything. There, that should disinfect it. Oh my God. That is nasty. I've been at Buffalo for just over 1.5 years, and most of that has been in Hay River. So one way to make them stay is make them feel welcome.
At this point, I'm just praying to God that he's gonna stay.
At least it smells good. It's a nice, crisp winter morning in a pine forest covered in mint. So it doesn't get like this anymore.
Good morning.
At Buffalo's Hay River office, Kathy McBryan knows all about the problem of runaway rampies.
We just can't find anybody to last. We're not even talking a month or two, we're talking days and hours. Another new guy.
In fact, Kathy's pretty much given up on any newbie sticking it out.
I'm not even gonna ask his name. He'll be gone, like all the others right away, so he's just new guy. Till another new guy shows up, then he's not so new guy. You scared yet? You gonna make it till noon? How about noon? How about noon tomorrow? Well, good luck. I don't think he noticed my paddle.
By the time the evening skeds due in,
So what you'll do is you'll stand here, put your thumb up, follow the tail. So as soon as the plane comes, it's gonna come straight like this. It's gonna spin around and just like walk towards here. And then you're gonna grab the baggage cart.
Brian's already looking tired.
And you're gonna pull it up to the right side of the stairs. Don't put the stairs up until the chalks are in. So I'll leave you here to give the thumbs up. Doesn't show much emotion yet, except for when he laughs. So I don't know how, probably scared shitless or something right now.
It might be a little overwhelming, but for now, Brian seems to have the right attitude.
It's been a long day and hard work, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I've lasted more than 4 hours, so I'm doing pretty good.
What we can do quickly is if you grab this strand.
Brian's doing good. He's eager. Yeah, he seems to be catching on pretty quickly, which is good. I think we got a good one here.
Tyler's happy, and he has to hope the new guy stays just as happy with Buffalo.
Well, today's the first real winter day here in Yellowknife. The skid is delayed.
Half an hour late, Buffalo's morning passenger flight rolls onto the Yellowknife ramp. Hoping that Hay River is under control, Tyler's back in town. And there's a surprise waiting. The Buffalo hangar has once again become the filming location of a drama shoot.
Man, that's pretty cool. We can work all night if we had one of those outside.
Rolling. And action.
The film crew's back for another round of shooting, and they have free reign of the place.
Big film crew come up here using the hangar, and it's been pretty cool. It's been a neat experience.
So if I'm the plane this way, just bring it a little bit south.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
And the producers have a specific need.
The coolest thing just happened. Actually, they're looking for a small plane to do some stuff. And you know what? Tyler's the only guy here with a small plane. So we're going to get him going and maybe get some flying in.
It's great. Hey, but we'll be back up, right, for some more aerial stuff, so we'll probably see you guys.
Or any chance for me to get some flying in is A-okay for me.
Tyler's plane is a 44-year-old Cessna 150 he picked up for a song in Hay River 1.5 years ago. Stunt flying could be a rare opportunity for Tyler. But But Joe just wants to get back to business as usual.
Do these guys need this back door open here all day? They're freezing the hangar. Well, I've asked them a couple times to shut it, and they just look at me like I got to it. Hold my head. So I think I'll shut the door and pull the breaker on it. I've asked them to shut it, but they won't. Here, I'm gonna shut this door. You use this one here, unless you guys want to double your rent.
Joe is very particular about other people using his hangar. And that could ruin Tyler's big break.
It was like this before, right?
It's all cocked to one side?
Yeah, just like that.
Check it out.
Because Tyler has to get his Cessna into the hangar for maintenance.
Private aircraft require an annual inspection. They were more than happy to hire a mechanic to do that. And turned out it was James Dojak.
Did you check to see if your circuit breaker was pulled?
They're fuses, eh?
Oh, the fuses?
Yeah.
And the diagnosis?
No, I have only seen the outside of it. I already know a few things that are wrong, so we're gonna have to look at those.
We'll just get it in the hangar. I'll come back for this.
But Joe's already sent word to the maintenance department. He doesn't want the plane in the hangar.
That's bad. I'm just wondering about my plane there.
I wouldn't bring it in during the week, personally.
During the week? Okay. Okay, thanks.
If Tyler can't get some hangar time, he won't make the deadline for the shoot.
My plane's supposed to be getting an annual done, and Joe's the one that's in charge, and he doesn't want it here. He wanted me to bury it back in the ditch there, so for now. So unless somebody figures it out, I guess it's not gonna get the annual done, and then I'm not gonna be able to use my plane.
Joe could be calling cut on Tyler's flying job before the camera even rolls. The Saturday morning passenger run approaches Yellowknife.
Bravo 168, turn to follow up.
And Tyler Sipos is facing a busy day on the ground. Joe's changed his mind, agreeing to let Tyler use the hangar for maintenance on his plane, but only for today.
Should have seen it in here, River.
Tyler wants to put the DC-3 to bed fast and get James started on the Cessna.
Yeah, as soon as I wrap this thing up, I'll go and get the thing ready.
Okay.
Nobody's here. Nothing's here. And who the rolled this? Fucking incompetence. God damn it. It's not fucking dried. It's not rolled right. Lazy.
But in his rush, Tyler misses one crucial detail. The gear pins are still hanging in the plane. The pins are a safety backup, designed to keep the plane from collapsing if a gear's mechanical lock fails.
Ready?
Yep.
It's the flight attendant who forgot them, but as first officer, it's Tyler's responsibility. And it'll come back to bite him.
Yeah. Tyler, not centered. Your nose wheel's not straight either.
But even though Tyler and James need to hurry, no one's looked under the hood in a year.
You know, it's been sitting there, idle, not doing anything. Sometimes I didn't even want to look in that direction, you know, just for the guilt.
Yeah, I need you to hold the prop. Oi! Give it a little jerk. There you go.
Tyler and James can't miss a detail that could mean life or death, like the pitot tube.
I noticed that his pitot heat wasn't working. That's a major thing there. You don't want to be flying around and then fall out of the sky.
The pitot tube is essential for measuring airspeed. It requires a heater to prevent it from freezing up at altitude. It's just one component that could down Tyler's plane if not working perfectly.
Okay, now work through your trims.
Trims, Dojak only have one.
They're caught between the need to be thorough and Joe's ticking clock.
They wanted us to hurry up, and so we kind of had to hurry and ensure that we got everything done.
Across town, Andrew still hasn't heard if he's got the new job. and he's starting to feel some pressure.
I didn't know what the overall score was Cathay was looking for to be accepted into this program. I was just hoping that I scored high enough.
But he can only hope for so long. So he decides to make a call.
Hi, my name is Andrew Veich. I'm calling in regards to my flight grading assessment. You know, you're always a little worried, you're always a little anxious that things are gonna work out. Yeah, that's right, that's me. Excellent. That's exactly what I was waiting to hear. Okay. Yeah, I'll look for the email and I'll get you everything you need as soon as I can. Thanks again.
Andrew's made it from the Buffalo ramp to a major world-class airline in record time. There's just one formality left.
This is my letter of resignation, saying I'm leaving Buffalo in a week. That's it. The end.
What's going on? You got any news?
I do have news. I gave Justin my resignation this morning.
Oh, right on. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
3 years, eh? Theoretically, you'll be sitting in a jet before some people are actually in a cockpit. I've never seen it that quick.
Yeah, I worked hard, but I'm pretty sure it was luck. I think it's good for this company, though.
And now, Andrew is the #1 poster boy for Rampy recruitment at Buffalo.
You can tell Rampy, hey, this guy did it in 3 years, and now he's going to a major airline. It gives him a little bit more inspiration, motivation.
I believe Buffalo is one of the hardest airlines in the world to work for, and if you can rough it out, geez, you can make it anywhere.
A lot of people were envious of me and what I got to do here, so it really put it into perspective for me.
Well, have fun there.
So we'll see what Joe has to say.
And Joe isn't exactly in a forgiving mood today.
Why aren't the pins in the airplane?
I'll go over now.
Hey, I asked you a question.
Joe's discovered the missing gear pins on the DC-3.
Would you ask Mike to pull you off the skid, put somebody else on?
Yeah, I'll call him right now.
Tell him why.
Yeah.
You go to your chief pilot tomorrow and tell him why you're not on the skid. That's a good question, isn't it? And ask him what excuse could you come up with? What could you?
I don't have any excuses.
Do you know how many times I parked that airplane? Maybe once before we forgot the pins. 30 years. Why would you leave there Saturday without checking that airplane? You're not a good crew. You're not a good mate.
Best thing to do is just let him say what he has to say and take the blame for it anyways. Just got a shift from Joe, so he wants me off the skid, so you need to put somebody else on.
Tyler's replacement, Andrew Veich.
I'm back on the skid. Oh, man. I actually really appreciate the chance to fly the 3 one more time.
But he'll have to fly with Joe.
If I get him in a bad mood, he might just yell at me the whole time.
While Andrew gears up for a final few flights at Buffalo, Tyler's wondering how many more he can take.
There's reasons like that why I want to leave. The place gets to you. It wears you down. You work through it and you don't complain, but it wears on you.
Buffalo 168, clear to Hay River direct, climb 5,000. Hay River direct at 5,000 for Buffalo 168.
In the air over Great Slave Lake, Andrew Veich is spending his last week at Buffalo flying with the boss.
Yellowknife altimeter 2953.
And Joe still hasn't said whether he's angry at Andrew for jumping to Cathay. Andrew's been dreading an outburst over the defection.
I don't know if it's going to be a good flight or if it's going to be a bad flight, and anything can happen if you fly with Joe, so.
And as they hone in on Hay River, Andrew's about to have a much bigger problem.
Looks like you went down there right out of the east, eh? That's correct. Winds in the field are 100, 15, gusting 20. I guess I know what road you want. We'll go runway 14 there. Yep.
With Great Slave Lake surrounding it on 3 sides, winds can whip off the water and bombard the airport. Today, they're gusting out of the east almost 40 kilometers an hour, right across the runway. For possibly the last time, Andrew will have to do some hardcore hands-on flying.
0-15, gusting 20, you're clear to land, runway 10.
And he's got Buffalo Joe breathing right down his neck.
Okay, do you see it out there? I can see the runway, yep. You're in charge of those throttles, you're in charge of those pedals under your feet. The wind's all over the place, so don't be shy.
Pressure's down, pressure's up. Lights green. I'll take 23 inches. 3 flapping down, nose to nose.
Andrew uses the ailerons, the wingtip flaps, to keep the plane level.
Ailerons become less effective, rudder's more effective.
And works the tail rudder to keep flying straight.
Full flap. On, throw. Landing checks complete. All numbers done. Rudder, your best friend right now is your best friend is your rudder. All that aileron into it. Down, put her down, put her down. Pull that aileron into it. Tail coming down.
Andrew has one more Buffalo moment to add to his list.
Okay, control. Yeah, control.
Everything in the back's baggage.
Andrew's made it through a tough landing with Joe, but he's still got 3 more days flying at Buffalo, and Joe's temper could erupt at any moment.
After Andy.
On the Yellowknife ramp, Tyler's got his Cessna ready just in time for his stunt flying with the film crew. He and his plane are heading to location.
We're okay right now, buddy.
Yeah, oh yeah, it hasn't changed. And it looks like it's clear enough.
You do have contact, right?
Yeah, he has it. This is Chris. He's the.
Hey, Chris, I'm Gary.
Tyler and the film crew set up a rendezvous point with the camera chopper.
We'll get over there and we'll just be hanging out, waiting.
But in his tiny 100-horsepower Cessna, Tyler's having trouble just getting off the ramp.
All right, push.
He heads to the rendezvous point, but now he has to pull off some precision landings, just inches from the cameras.
Because we want to get like a really tight insert of your wheel.
Yeah. Let me down this direction here. What I'm getting is the airport, right? So if I'm this way here and you come through it, if I'm that way, I'm getting trees in the background. This is for about 2 seconds at the point of impact, right?
I don't want to be too tight. What I want to be is I want to be close and wide. I want to put it like a couple feet away.
Yeah, and I'll try and just like dip the wheel right where you are.
Okay. Get the wheel as close to that camera as possible, right?
So just get right close here.
It's already a lot to handle, and he won't be making these landings on a normal runway.
What they wanted to make it look like we were landing on the tundra in a small clearing fields. Beside the runway, there's a little tiny service road trucks use to get around the airport.
It's a narrow, snow-covered patch of road unlike any strip Tyler's ever had to hit. The film crew initially thought the only way to get a plane to land on this road was with digital visual effects. But now, they're asking him to do the real thing.
And then it progressed to, well, instead of like doing CGI, we'd like to actually shoot the, landing.
And Tyler's first shot will be more than just a landing.
We're going to do a kind of touch and go on the surface road.
It's a tricky maneuver called a touch and go. Tyler has to come in, touch his wheels briefly on the tiny back road, and then take off again.
Golf Quebec Victor, touch and go on the infield at your discretion. Wind is 280 at 10.
And he won't be doing it alone. A camera chopper will be following his every move. He's never flown anywhere near this close to another aircraft before. And this one is 6 times more powerful than his Cessna.
Golf Quebec Victor, roger. Let me know when you get the helicopter in sight.
Okay, roger, check. Yeah, we'll let you know.
It'll be more up close and personal than Tyler's ever been with another aircraft. He'll be breaking a cardinal rule of aviation. Stay far away from the other guy.
Should be pretty interesting having a helicopter flying right beside me.
We're not doing some, regular day flying. There could be potential danger.
No, they didn't actually give me any real direction, so they'll just tell me over the radio what they need.
Hey, Tyler, just step up on 3010.
Yeah, go ahead. Is that you over the bay, low level?
Yeah. Are you still on the west side of the bay right now?
Just coming up over the shoreline, parallel to the shoreline there. Bring a helicopter right that close to you. You just want to make sure that you fly exactly, perfectly straight and trust that he's a good pilot. I have no idea, but I can hear him. He's coming up on the other side. He's high right now. I can hear him. A little unnerving. Like getting stalked at night.
And Tyler hasn't even got to the hard part.
He's gotta be like right over top of us. I can hear him.
In the air over Yellowknife, Tyler Seapost is playing a game of cat and mouse.
Whenever you're comfortable, do a nice gentle right-hand turn.
With a camera chopper that has him badly outpowered and on edge.
I can feel his rotor wash.
Flying a plane that weighs less than a smart car, he has to fight to keep steady in the helicopter's downdraft.
Tower Golf Delta Victor is on for the service road.
Now, it's showtime.
So just warn us when you're ready to start coming in. We're ready for you.
Tyler has to bounce down onto a narrow stretch of road, barely wide enough for a truck.
I had to get down real low because it was a short strip.
He has to hit right on his mark. And get back up before he runs out of room.
Come on. Come on, there's let's go. Come on.
He makes it, just inches before the turn in the road. But there's a tougher landing ahead. First, he's got to come in extremely low to hide the Yellowknife skyline in the background. This time, when he hits his mark, he has to whip right past cameras, lining the sides of the road.
They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. Nope. What the hell? How long is it gonna take them to set up a camera? I don't know. They're changing all ends.
Just go around, go around.
And during this brief delay, the weather takes a turn.
Caution, possible turbulence when you touch down.
At this point, the crosswind crept up.
Roger, we'll check the wake turbulence. Golf Dog, contact picture.
That's going to make Tyler's job a lot harder.
A little fast, a little high, a little bit, yeah.
The camera crew will be positioned so close that Tyler's wings will pass directly over their heads. He'll have to fight the crosswind to keep perfectly straight.
Okay, Charlie, here we go, bud.
Make sure everybody's catching up.
Came in low over the trees. And I had to come in at a 45 because directly in line with what we were doing, there was a tower.
And trees. There goes the drop. And birds, and road, and here we go. And dropping. Come on, come on. Come on.
After a rough week, this was exactly the release Tyler needed. But it was the flying, not the performing, that he loved.
No ambitions to be an actor. I'll stick to flying. What I'm good at. Or relatively good at. Or wanting to be good at. One day. When you're doing it, you're so focused that you kind of don't realize what you're doing until a little while afterwards. Come back to Buffalo, reality hits you.
And that reality is about to hit him a lot harder than he expects. It's a new morning, and Andrew's finishing up his final flight at Buffalo.
6-9 checks.
He's still waiting for Joe to weigh in on his new job at Cathay.
Hey, we're down to our last 1,000 feet. Double check your altimeter at 660.
Joe finally breaks the silence.
So what time you got to be in Hong Kong? A week from Monday. Wow. You'll be pretty busy studying though. What's your first equipment, Airbus? It depends on how well you do in the training. Well, consider yourself the top of the class. What do you get? 747. Well, you'll get a 747.
It's Joe's version of a major vote of confidence.
Whether he's yelling at you or praising you for your job, so it's definitely been an interesting experience flying with Joe, that's for sure.
Runway's all yours. On your pedals, heels on the floor.
You know, man, what it comes down to is we all have a love of flying, and whether I'm flying a 47 or a 777, or whether I'm flying a DC-3 or a DC-4, man, put me in the air, I'm happy. Coming at you.
His last trip with me, and his last trip with Buffalo. No, he did a very good trip. I fully expected a good trip, and he's right where he should have been when he should have been there. So, yeah, he did very, very well. Actually, I wish the hell I could fly that good sometimes.
Last time I'll ever have to glycol an airplane.
There's no torch to pass, but Andrew has the next best thing.
You want a jacket? Yep. Here. It's yours. If you find money in there, give it back. Yep, no problem, man.
Andrew might be finished at Buffalo, but Tyler's still got to tough it out. And Joe's mood is already shifting. He wants Tyler's Cessna off his ramp.
Is it on Buffalo's yard? So if Buffalo blows it over and running up a DC-4 or 46, I got to go out and fix the goddamn thing. I said no. Then you go find somebody that says it's okay to leave it there. See, that's your problem. If I had enough room to store airplanes, I wouldn't be getting that lot across the street to clean my yard.
Okay, I'll go talk to him right now.
And then, if you ever don't do that to me, as soon as I tell you something, go find somebody that doesn't agree with me, and you haven't told them that I said.
You know? That wasn't my intention.
My intention was to get it over there, off this yard, because I don't want the liability for it. And you can, if Dean said no, you could go find Andy, or you find Randy, or somebody would say yes.
While Andrew is soared right out the door, Tyler's only moving down in Joe's pecking order. Andrew Vike is doing his last-minute packing.
There you go. That's what I'm supposed to fly. It's everything on the 747. Cathay Pacific, DC-3. There you go, eh? Going to a company that's started out by flying DC-3s.
His roommates, Buffalo Captain Devin Brooks and his fiancée Janelle, have a baby on the way, and they really want to take over his room.
This is the big guy in here, and this is Big Mama.
Interesting to see how that works. What's happening? Anything on the floor you can take. This might fit you because it's huge. That's an insulated onesie. It's never been worn.
You can probably spin around inside of it.
The cold weather clothes, they're gonna be retired. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill a hockey bag, all the rampies and all the guys below me. I'm just gonna dish it out.
This is the easiest way to do this.
There's Devin helping a buddy out.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait till I do it myself.
They don't make anything easy to carry anymore either. Take care, buddy.
You too, man.
Make sure you do keep in touch.
Pleasure having you as a roommate.
All right, guys.
Take
Have a
care.
good one.
Drive safe.
Before he's gone for good, he's got one last pit stop. And one last, very important goodbye.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for everything. Absolutely. I'm heading out now, so.
I want to hear good things about you.
Absolutely, you will.
I want to see a postcard. I want to see a picture in that uniform.
I'll do that. I'll send it your way.
Promise?
As long as it makes it on your wall of fame.
I got a place all picked out. All the best to it.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Joe. Thanks very much.
He came 3 years ago as a rampie, and he ramped, and he flight attendant, and he drove courier truck. But his flying ability was noticeable right from the first. This is what the coach must have thought when he had a Gretzky hit the ice. This guy's gonna go all the way.
Never seen your dad smile.
There you go.
Have a good one, Mikey.
Yeah.
Take care, pal. You too, man. And miss you. Enjoy the gold.
Andrew heads off on his long drive to Vancouver, where he'll catch a nonstop flight to his bright future. Across the tarmac, Tyler's still reeling from Joe's latest reprimand.
He's had it in for me for the past couple of weeks. Like I tried to get a hold of Blair. Nobody's there.
And he's trying to find a new home for his Cessna before Joe sees it still on the ramp.
I was thinking maybe right here. Sail there. Wing over there. That way it's not taking up a bunch of space.
Tyler's thinking of moving more than just his plane away from Buffalo.
Andrew getting a job there with the airlines, it was good to see that. There is an end in sight. I have a goal. I've had the goal since I was like a little wee kid. So seeing him move on makes me start thinking too, well, you know, I need to start moving on, I think.
We're going to the top of the world.
This week,
Turn that thing off.
Ice Pilots NWT celebrates 5 soaring seasons with Buffalo Airways.
Fly the plane tonight. Oh yeah.
We revisit some major moments.
Give up here out, man.
Relive some hard times
Oh, thanks, guys.
and hard landings.
All the gear's knocked down.
And pull back the curtain
I'm singing with Joe.
to find out what's kept Buffalo
52.
flying high for the last 5 years.
Everything that you see in the film, we do.
Take it over. Hang on to your hats, boy.
After 4 decades flying vintage World War II planes around the Arctic, Joe McBryan and Buffalo Airways were already legends in northern aviation.
Morning, Buffalo Airways.
But it was a phone call from a TV producer to Joe's son Mikey that would soon make this small airline famous around the world.
I said, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a story on the Sked? Do you want to do a story on the DC-4? Do you want to do a story on, you know, my family? And he said, no, let's do everything. This was so cold out there. Oh, boy. So Norman Wells, the power's being put back on.
Mikey started off this whole thing, and the only reason I allowed him to do it is because I didn't want to pee in his parade.
Oh, I hear the 4 going. She's taxiing by.
It wasn't easy at first.
If it wasn't for Mikey, Joe would have walked away right at the beginning.
Okay, give me that wire and I'll put it on myself. You don't go clamming my goddamn shirt with a wire. I'm not gonna.
It will take 5 minutes.
There you go, all done.
So, Joe, what's it like to have television cameras following you around?
Pain in the ass.
The day my father realized that there's a TV show being made about us was long after you guys started shooting. His response was, well, they're stupid. We don't do anything.
We're going to the top of the world. Canadian Forces Base alert.
We're heading to Sunrise Lake. We're going in to build a strip for a C-46.
We're not taking off out of this.
Working at Buffalo, it's not a job, it's a f***ing adventure.
Here comes the fun. Going to the water.
God, don't pull back too much.
As you can see, there's a bit of a language barrier.
So I told to my parents, like, I'm gonna drive over the frozen lake. What? Are you crazy?
This is crazy. I've never been north of the tree line before. Oh.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Frozen water, right? I wanna lay down here. It's awesome.
You don't have to join the Army or the Navy to get an experience like this. You just gotta join Buffalo Airways.
But along with the real adventure comes real stress.
Okay, so that's 360 plus 85. That one will go, and then this one.
So when Ice Pilots first started, Mikey approached me and he talked about this show. And I thought, oh, Jesus, and I don't know if I can ever do that.
Don't fly the plane tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a big flop because I work in it every day. And I'm thinking, why in the hell do people want to look at this shit? That's why they call it a regulator. It regulates. It's like an alternator alternates, carburetor carburetutes. Generator generates. We're the last of it all, right here. All these old piston pounders.
I don't think they like you no more.
Where's all my winter wells? I can't function like this. It's just dysfunctional.
The guy that sits in the city at a desk loves this crap.
Thinking back, it's 5 years. It's not just making a television show. It's people's lives on both sides of the camera. You know, the Ice Pilots crew invested a lot of time and effort.
We got camera people all over. Is there any maintenance guys here?
GoPro's in the way. Camera's in the way.
Turn around, there's a guy filming you, put a spark plug in an engine or something. Like, why are you filming this? Like, how is this entertaining?
Have you ever had to work with the camera jammed in your face?
We're here in Coventry, England, and we got the director of photography, Sean Cable, in the first class lounge.
Pretty soon, it was like one big dysfunctional family.
What a snake here, see?
Holy
What's going on right now?
Okay. How do you feel?
Oh my God.
How do you feel, man?
I love it. I love being like a little.
Hang on. Look at me. Not at the camera.
We're filming people that haven't really fully signed up for this here production.
Freaking TV crew. Oh.
Okay? Take a picture? Yeah.
You know, there were some uneasiness in the beginning. And then within the year, we all kind of became friends. And
No warnings about the film crew today.
Oh, I'm gonna be here today.
How are you? Hi, Terry.
Good morning.
And then it got to the point, like they told me, you'd get used to it. I wouldn't even realize anybody was around me. And it begins. That's why Kelly's mouth. What the is this? God. Why in the came out to play? Let's just put brooms and shit in the freezer. Welcome back to holy.
And Buffalo Airways is leaving its comfort zone, exposing ourselves to these cameras. We're having fun. Phone time. Good afternoon, Buffalo Airways.
Just the sight of a video camera was kind of like needles at the nurse. You know, like, if you got a needle every day, it's different.
We just came back after a pretty steady oil leak. We would have...
People come up to me and say, what's it like with a camera in your face all the time? And honestly, the camera's right there. I don't even notice it. You got a freaking mic right here. You got your freaking backup mic right here. There's an emergency outside, and you're fumbling around with this stuff.
Where's the rest of the crew?
And one person's been tougher for the camera crew than any other.
That's a up out there. We're shutting down. This is bullshit.
Joe is the headline of the pride here, and if you're in there poking and prodding him with the cameras, he's gonna snap.
AVO won't be ready to go either. They didn't plug it in.
We walked around eggshells with Joe.
You guys better get your shit together today, because this is not going to be a good day, I can see that. Get yourself a half a day late, you're going to have an accident, guys.
He can be very volatile sometimes.
I'm sticking with Joe.
So we're kind of like tiptoeing around.
Big man's pissed off right now.
so it's a matter of just tiptoeing around.
This is the best we can do. I don't want to see it. This is bullshit. It's 11:30 and he's finally got one BT-400 going. There isn't even power going to the oil tanks in that airplane. There's nobody watching that. And that's going to crash. Trust me.
Okay.
You want to push it to a breaking point, you're there. Come here, Rod. I just put that camera away for a while. Just go away somewhere.
You just don't know, what mood he's going to be in from one moment to the next.
No cameras are allowed in that room right now. They need a bit of space, but there's a window.
The beautiful thing about technology, they're called wireless microphones.
You only want it when I'm in trouble.
But that's the reality of what we're doing. Shit happens and we're catching it.
You guys better sit down and come up with a game plan, and then next time... That's the plan. I want to have a
We're eavesdropping. We're listening to Joe in the meeting.
This trip here, we got max risk everywhere we're going. You know, I just have to question the fact, if ABO wasn't good enough to go to Spone, why is it good enough to go tomorrow morning?
But dealing with Joe's bark was nothing compared to the bite of filming in the most extreme conditions on the planet.
It was minus 51 outside, but in the wind chill was minus 92.
Ew! Like, look at the ladder, for crying out loud. That's just the wind.
You think our job was hard? Try to capture our job on film.
Minus 52! Right here!
Hands are frozen. It's wintertime. It's dark. It's cold.
This is actually a clock. It's rock hard.
The worst possible filming conditions anyone can imagine.
I'm leaving the camera rolling, just so you know. The buttons are frozen. Shit, man. We got frostbite? Just so everybody back home knows what we do. Frostbite. No earlobes. They're going to fall off.
We're doing all kinds of crazy maneuvers to make these dynamic shots, right? Because, face it, dynamic shots tell a great story.
Every plane's got its own configuration, so trying to mount these cameras is a challenge. Anywhere the mechanics will let us, we've probably mounted it.
We have a GoPro on the belly, one on the wingtip, one on the top of the, there's cameras all over the airplane.
I want to get a cool shot of the airplane, buzzing me. And so I talked to Devin. Hey, Devin, I'm going to go drive out to this ice road. Can you, fly around me and do some maneuvers and everything like that? Oh, yeah, sure, no problem.
Well, we'll have a little fun, eh, James?
Yeah. I'm going to stand up through the sunroof and just start shooting as we're driving.
Just go slow for a sec.
It's small, like a sled or something. I don't know, could be a car. It's them.
Don't move in the car too much. And meanwhile, the plane's coming right at us.
Jesus Christ.
Be still, Brad, be still.
Hell yeah.
It's like the last shot of the opening credits where the C-46 flies right over. I know, like...
Please send me back to the camera room now.
The filming is very, very accurate. I mean, everything that you see in the film, we do.
And what Buffalo does, flying the frigid skies in antique planes, can go very wrong.
Want me to put some excitement into your TV show?
Yes, sir.
We're all gonna die!
If it's a good day, it's good for Buffalo. If we're having not so good day, it's good for television.
I've never seen oil pressure that high. We're gonna have 160 PSI here in a minute or two. Yeah, kind of looking like that. Climbing. Do you think it's right?
People don't want to see us walk around the hangar sweeping the flanger floor.
We got smoke out of the engine here.
They want to see airplanes' engines shut down.
Jesus Christ.
Fires and
So they got a fire lane?
crash landings and Joe screaming and yelling, and that's,
I want that chief out of my office right now.
as long as the camera is rolling, you will get that.
My landing gear pressure is bleeding off.
They thrive on stuff not going as planned.
Main milk starting.
Can you help me on the aileron there, Sean? 10.
Stuff goes not as planned all the time. What tipped over?
The power unit.
We got an overspeed. Declare an emergency, George.
Over the last 5 years, Buffalo's pilots have faced loads of intense moments in the cockpit.
Oh my, what the heck is going on with this thing?
And one captain in particular has seen more than his share.
What's up, boys?
Devin has never let me down once. He's always been stellar. He's a stellar pilot.
Cool this morning, isn't it?
But even though he's a stellar pilot, Devin isn't always in a stellar mood.
Turn that camera off.
Turn that thing off.
Turn your camera off.
Oh, the camera crew. Oh, turn that thing off. The first little bit, it was a learning process for everybody because nobody's ever shot in those cockpits before.
Early on, the camera was along to capture a very tense flight for Devin.
Watch that speed every couple knots, call it out.
When Scott and I hit the wind shear in Toledo in season 1.
Oh, we're gonna get beat to shit.
The C-46 hit a sudden change in wind on final approach.
The cameraman in the back was white as a preacher's sheet.
I couldn't believe the power of the wind that could just lift the airplane up and down. The C-46 is a huge aircraft, but it was bounced around like a ball.
At the last second, Devin made his call. Abort the landing.
Turn that camera off.
Everything's flying up and down, and the pilot said, shut the camera off. But we have to keep rolling. I mean, our job is to keep documenting this.
So what happened? There was that a wind shear? That was wind shear. But you're losing 20 to 25 knots short final. Falling into the sky, that's wind shear.
Flying home, it's kind of funny to see him still trembling.
I mean, it was a couple times where we almost lost the airplane.
And no flight came closer to disaster than on Buffalo's epic mission delivering 2 planes across the Atlantic.
1 minute we're going, 1 minute we're not.
Standard Buffalo Airways. Our first international job was basically when the Ice Pilots crew showed up.
Yeah, you got shit.
Take it easy. Oh, yes, we will.
I love you so much.
We'll be good.
Love you quick.
See you, dear.
We have our normal crew and our normal guys we've worked with for 10, 15 years, and now you got to drag along these other guys.
Come back and readjust it.
Arnie took me aside in the beginning, and he said, this is a really dangerous mission. And he was kind of warning me to be very careful.
The North Atlantic takes no prisoners.
We're flying a summertime airplane in winter conditions.
So this is going to be icing in this.
I remember him saying, this is a suicide mission.
This morning at 7 o'clock, they took off going to Portugal, and then all of a sudden, TXB turned around, and we don't know why.
We got an overspeed.
Flying over the open ocean, the second plane's left-hand propeller started spinning out of control.
And all of a sudden, everything starts floating in the cabin, and we start, I don't know, we were kind of floating in positive G's. And then I was rolling.
Let's declare an emergency, George. We're heading back.
Okay, Santa Maria, Santa VOR. Got an overspeed.
Charlie Foxtrot Tango, X-ray Bravo. Confirm intentions.
Declaring an emergency, requesting immediate comeback to Santa Maria. And we have 4 souls on board, and we have trying to hold 4,000 this feet. We're in a slow descent.
And they kept talking about, oh, we're losing altitude because we're too heavy. Back of the plane was a fuel bladder. We were sinking slowly, slowly, slowly.
Left end mixture, boost pumps off. Left engine is feathered.
Take full flap.
Flap's going to full.
Rooster
sir, what happened? Like, what was this? I don't understand what happened, but...
We got an overspeeding prop. It means the governor let go wasn't working, and then it just, the RPM spools right up, and you can't, they're uncontrollable.
Is that the first time this ever happened to you, or?
In one of these, like I've had overspeed props before, but
Well, you sure handled a good landing. Holy cow, with one engine.
Right now, we need some fresh air.
yeah, get out of this thing.
But even when both planes arrived safely in Turkey, the action was far from over.
We started doing training runs with the Turkish pilots. Because it was an uncontrolled airport, I had access to the runway. So I decided to set myself up right in the middle of the runway. So I'm filming the plane on an extreme long lens, coming in, getting lower and lower, and he's not putting the landing gear down. All of a sudden, I realized while I'm standing on the runway, this plane is full of gasoline. I just kept the camera running. Smoke and fire. I didn't quite believe what I was seeing, but I kept following it.
Go on again now.
What happened? They didn't have the landing gear down. They touched the pavement. Anyways.
How you doing?
Yeah, it's Corey Dodd down Turkey.
On their third circuit, they came around and they landed gear up.
That is the kindergarten of flying. If you're going to land an airplane, make sure your goddamn wheels are down. Jesus Christ.
Were we concerned of hiding it? I'll try to quote my father. I might not get it perfect, but he says, if they're stupid enough not to put the gear down, I think we're going to be stupid enough to put it on TV.
A lot of people have asked me, did that airplane ever fly again? I said, well, it flew again in 8 days. I said, well, how did it fly in 8 days? Well, my son and his crew went over and fixed it.
You got some pretty impressive footage, didn't you?
The pilots might act like the rock stars of Buffalo, but they're only one part of the operation.
Initially, I didn't want the name Ice Pilots because I thought it just reflected the pilots, self-appointed, egotistical, pompous asses. That was what pilot to me spells. I was more interested in the life of the mechanics.
We can do anything. We're the Mavericks of the North, man. There. That's how you fucking do it in the operation, boys. Excuse me.
The spark plugs are firing. You can see them coming out of the fucking front cylinders. That looks cool.
I don't have a magnet, but it looks mostly aluminum. I can't see any brass.
Well, the oil's sticking together, so it makes it a little bit more of a challenge to fix things.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna need a 5/16 wrench, too.
He says he's got coffee in here, so you might come and have a cup of coffee and then try it again.
I wanna get the out of here and go home.
Well, I know that.
Ah, this fucking APU.
Just goes to show when things fucking break around here, it's always after 40 fucking below. Fresh gas! And the frog!
All in the hips. It's all in the hips.
Good day, brother. See that tire change? Just like NASCAR.
Mission accomplished.
We did it! Right on, Scott, Hamas!
There was people who were camera shy, and then there was some who showed no shame in front of a camera.
Hey, look out, buddy. There's a friggin' lunatic on the loose, man.
Whatever comes out of Chucky's mouth, his hands do the job. He finishes and he fixes airplanes.
Well, what just happened? I just pulled the impossible with everybody going fucking blah, blah, blah. It can't be done. Well, it's fucking in there, ain't it? Brother? I don't act. Everybody asks me if I'm acting, but I'm not acting. It's just the way I am. You know, a lot of shit you guys miss. It's too bad.
Chuck's laugh is like, it's just like the dirty old man laugh. Just loves being a jackass.
One lady said she wasn't going to watch the TV show because Chuck swore too much. I thought that was pretty funny. Chuck's losing us fans.
What they seen on Ice Pilots is real life. That's what I've always maintained.
And life doesn't get any more real than it does for the rampies. The grunts who sling freight on the frozen tarmac.
Cold.
Only a select few will tough it out and get a shot flying a Buffalo warbird.
Feels right to sit in this chair.
Lots of people come and go. And you can see their beginnings, you can see their ends. Now, who really stood out?
Oh, I'm gonna catch hell.
New challenging task, enjoying it.
Well, I'm not cold, I'm actually really hot, but I can't see anything. Oh, they're not fogged, they're iced.
This is a new experience, and it's freaking cold.
You start at the bottom, you make no money.
But after some time, yeah, you'll rock on it.
Gross. You just grabbed my ass.
They are also human beings, right? Like me.
It's all about, whoever can work the hardest.
I'm not feeling too good. My back is hurting.
Sit.
Now I'm stuck.
Go away, man. Off. Leave me alone. You're working hard. You're working 16 hours a day, all day, every day. I love my job. I love my job. I love my job.
Fucking gassed. This isn't fucking funny, man.
Again, it's not for everybody.
All the best, buddy. It was really nice to be with you. Really nice. It's my pleasure, sir.
How long did you last?
Can't say that I'm gonna miss the place.
See you, Harry.
It seems like it's kind of like a miserable life.
I'm not being told what the problem is. I just need to get out of here for a few minutes.
They don't fit in with the pattern. Lots of times they do themselves a favor by not coming back.
You work yourself up over years until you finally get to that ultimate goal.
But the path to the cockpit requires tackling any job that needs doing.
Where's, Francis there? What the hell's his name?
Andrew.
Andrew. Walk him around, take him shit. But if he doesn't shit, he'll shit in the airplane.
All right, dog. Take a shit.
Sometimes it even means pre-boarding an unexpected passenger.
Take a shit, dog. Go poo. Poo, poo, poo. Poo on it. Poo. Oh, that was so close. Dog just shit everywhere.
I tell you, new experiences every time we take a trip.
If you look at it as just a flying job, you're gonna hate it.
They have to look at it as a stepping stone to the pilot's seat.
You get an opportunity to fly some really cool machines. You got a little light at the end of the tunnel.
Just relax a little bit. Look at your instruments. A little bit of back pressure, slight or to the right.
But then you hear like the DC-3 or the C-46 fire up and you're like, this is still pretty cool.
Keep it straight. Not on the brake, so good. Perfect.
Well,
Good fun.
well, you're a DC-3 pilot now. Congratulations.
My first commercial checkout is in the hardest airplane in the world to fly.
Well, I'm pretty stoked. Feels pretty good. Be crying tears of joy if my eyeballs weren't frozen.
My girl now.
Give you the taste, and you get bit by the bug.
It's a license to learn for these guys now, and his dedication and his ability to learn will he'll show us whether he's going to be a pilot or not.
Can't believe it.
Yeah!
Right.
Is it coming down at all, or? He's not going to Bentley Road. Shit.
That's a pretty cool sight looking at an Electra out there.
Ice Pop, man, 5 seasons, like who would have thought? I wouldn't change a thing. I'd probably change my underwear after watching that BAQ come in. BAQ, this is company. BAQ, this is company.
They've gone into a reduced speed.
On the way home from a rough ice strip, Buffalo's Electra, call sign BAQ, suffered a major malfunction.
Well, let's try and drop him down again. Drop him down. Go ahead, get it down.
The right landing gear refused to lower, and it was up to Captain Ray Weber on the eve of retirement to get the plane back on the ground.
Is it coming down at all, or? Shit. Start. He's not going Bentley Road.
That was definitely the most dramatic flying experience I've had.
Is ready? What is ready?
I knew it was going to hurt the airplane.
200.
It's like the final curtain. Bring her down.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10. E-handle 3 and 4. B and 4. One and 2.
No fire.
We gotta get in. Want to climb along, Mikey? No, better not. This is fucking terrible. You know, it was really surreal to see BAQ out there. It looks like a wounded duck laying on the side of the road, and it didn't look natural. What the f is that piece over there?
Ray landed the plane without a single injury to anyone on board. But damaging his plane hit the captain hard.
You do your best, and sometimes it's not good enough.
To have, you know, Ray break down and just cry on national television. And then 12 months later, when I watched it with him at the Ice Pilots crew house, and I was sitting beside him, and he broke down again watching that on TV. That's just a guy that just cares about what he does.
You hate to hurt a friend.
It's real life. I mean, airplanes do land with the wheels up. That's not to be cut. That happened, that is showing. I have no regrets in anything I've seen on television.
And that includes Joe's own temper.
Okay, let's cancel the whole thing. You don't know how to run them, so how the hell do you know how to control them if one fails you? As far as I'm concerned, Roddy put the skids under that guy. If he wants to talk to me like that, he doesn't work here.
Ice Pilots has portrayed my father at work, and usually at very heated times.
I pay your f***ing wages. You're the civil servant here. You prove to me that your accusations are right. People don't like it. They don't like the way I talk. They don't like the way I holler and scream. Tough shit.
I'm not going to say those heated times didn't happen, but the happy Joe, which is a lot of the times, honestly really isn't probably good television. So it's kind of a lot of times left on the cutting room floor.
Have you driven this thing before?
Oh, yeah.
But not all the time.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, let's have a big old smile. What do you think? What do you think, Pete?
Transportation downtown reclamation. Ray Jane's Vinegar. That's Ray and Jane's Vinegar. That's what that says. To put that on, that vinegar on fish and chips.
Television is completely out of his control. He doesn't know anything about what's on that episode, and he watches it fresh like everyone else.
Even when the McBryans host the season premiere screenings at the Hay River Movie House.
Hi, Joe.
On Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock on History Television, he sits there with my mother and watches the show.
When I sit down with a bag over my head peeking out to see what the hell they're going to show, I haven't seen the show. I see it when you see it.
On the season premiere of Ice Pilots SWC, Joe fights the feds.
It's a total intimidation.
Who's got the balls to do that? Like, that's huge. You got your company that you've been running for 43 years. You got 1 million people around the world gonna watch this episode, and he sits there cold turkey.
Oh yeah, let's see what's going on.
Got 60 feet in. Yes, sir. Make it work.
Arnie, you're my hero.
on, Saigon.
We've flown halfway around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a few years ago, Buffalo was strictly a northern operation.
We just landed in Istanbul, or we're gonna go driving to Edirne. Not sure.
But over the last 5 seasons, Joe's scrappy little airline has taken on missions around the globe.
Basically, I've been paid to go see all these cool places, you know, around the world now. Looking at airplanes and doing airplane stuff.
I'm telling you, man, some of the architecture around here is pretty phenomenal.
It's phenomenal. Like, this is perfectly aligned squares. They do that.
It's phenomenal.
Smells not the greatest, is it?
No. Smells like medieval times.
Medieval times. We're not just mechanics anymore. We're world travelers.
Look at the whitest legs in Venezuela. You know, we're not in Kansas anymore. We're worldwide.
An open window there, is that where the queen sticks her head out or what? That's what she throws her cigarette butts out. Those are empties.
Signal head, yeah. Where you headed to?
The Azores first. So we were on the most eastern part of Canada, North America. Now we're in the most western part of Europe. Cool, eh?
What's the deal? A bunch of stones or what? I'm not totally in awe. Every time I leave Yellowknife, the first thing I do is I go get Burger King.
You gotta leave your comfort zone.
Holy shit.
A lot of yelling and screaming down there, though. Have you talked about this 17 times already in the last 2 weeks? Everything's no problem, right? But nothing happens.
And nobody had more far-flung adventures than Mikey.
Sleeping on a frozen lake is exactly what it sounds like. It's pretty rough. That was pretty cool. Didn't aliens get this building in Independence Day? They get to travel all over around the world.
Tengo que agarrar el juro de esta avenida principal, ya no puedo agarrar esta autopista.
You're my f***ing hero, man.
But one of Buffalo's most memorable missions outside the North was a little closer to home in Mackenzie, British Columbia.
You know what's there, man.
Don't even know it's there.
A British TV crew hired Buffalo to recreate the legendary dam-busting bomber raids of World War II. And there was only one pilot they could trust, Arnie Schrader.
When Ice Pirates first started shooting, you know, Arnie was, you know, quite skeptical and of the media and, you know, cameras. And I guess Arnie warmed to it and started to like you guys and love what you were doing and embraced it and ran with it.
And this was after the war.
Oh, he's gonna get nailed. He's too close.
He's very close and beautiful. Look how high it goes.
Arnie would have to fly at 40 feet and drop his spinning prop bomb so it would bounce into the dam, and he needed to be bang on.
Yeah. Yeah. Too low.
There's one f***ing guy in the world to make it happen. It's this guy, right?
Okay, he's like, go. Cool. Arms are right here.
I hear him.
Hey! Woo! We have visual.
I'm nervous. I don't really get nervous that often.
Glassy water's hard to get down to that 60 feet, eh?
Yes, sir.
Water was glassy over the lake, so it's a little hard to judge your height without any trees or anything around you. So we were probably 10, 15 feet lower than we should have been.
I can see the buoys are slightly on an angle.
Oh yeah, I got the buoy.
Impact, Arnie, it was perfect!
Right on, Saigon.
Arnie, you're my hero.
As a pilot, mentor, and friend, Arnie was a hero to many, and his death from cancer was a big blow.
Looking back, you know, Arnie had a huge career, you know, 30,000 plus hours. But that little bit that was captured is now Really made him immortal.
Just yesterday, I got a Facebook message from some random person, I think it was in Germany, saying how sorry they are for my loss with Arnie and that they feel my pain and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, holy man.
Thanks,
I don't want with you.
Yeah, that'll help support me anyway.
This is all captured on a TV show, my relationship with my best friend.
You look like an idiot.
I miss him every day.
To get the end of Arnie's career, and as it turned out, the end of his life on television, so everybody could see what a great man he was just wonderful.
See you for Arnie Schrader! Well, thanks, guys.
The Nordine Norseman. Wooden wings, fabric, metal skeleton body. Pretty cool.
For 5 years, Ice Pilots NWT has been bringing Buffalo Joe's unique world to people all over the planet, even a rock star.
When I saw Ice Pilots, I was like, oh my God, there's a company somewhere in the world that flies real airplanes for real missions and keeps this whole thing alive. How long can they exist for in this modern world, you know? And I just think it's miraculous what's been achieved here on a regular basis.
That's why you land the flow plane.
This is his legacy. I mean, now his company that he's built over all these years, now we can sit back and see what he's done and accomplished and show the world.
From bush pilot to aviation legend, Ice Pilots has showcased Joe's legacy.
1, 2, 3, suck some more.
And caught rare moments between him and his son.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There it goes.
That's good, guys.
Once I got proposed a television show, I thought, you know what, this is a good opportunity to capture my father.
What kind of bugs do we got here? I gotta have a souvenir. Is that a seat? Yeah, throw up on top of the cow in there. Yes, but Norman, when he was 15 years old, he followed me just like he does today. So I don't think it's changed our relationship at all. It's just an ongoing relationship.
The one thing people still bring up, which happened about 5 years ago now, is I baked my father a cake. Now this is the frickin' ticket. I wanted to separate all the green ones out here. Well, this is not practical. But I spent $65 to make this cake.
Didn't I see it? Get a knife. I'll cut her up, see what you made for 65 bucks. Look at that. Good luck. I'll make another year. Thanks, guys.
This is the best cake I ever had. And if you need any cake making, you know look further than here.
You know my son, Mike?
Ice Pilots has captured a lot of cool trips I had with my father. Went over to England to go look at some Electras.
Ha-ha!
Holy smokers. Holy. That's a long hike.
You want to stay up here for a while, Mike?
No. Even the helicopter lessons for his birthday. It's their first helicopter lesson.
Really?
Right now.
That's a neat thing to do.
We need to go rescue the Lockheed 10A tail. Airborne!
You have patrol?
Oh, my father getting on the snowbirds.
Wow, I just amazed. Yeah, that was great. Good job.
Oh, have fun there.
Thank you, son.
Ice Pilots has also seen milestones for the entire McBryan family.
It's a good recording for the future generations of the family to see how their uncles and brothers and aunts and uncles all partaked in this period of time.
It's like I waited for too long. So you got a big jacket, snow pants, and boots. We were proud of Mikey being able to, you know, look beyond our hangar doors and frozen skies to be able to expose us.
What Mikey wanted to do is make TV, and we want him to do well. And it's different from what we do. He is a standalone kid, so I'm happy with that.
You know what, it's been half a decade, it's been 5 years, and never thought that the camera crew, let alone the ice pilots and stuff, would become part of the whole Buffalo family.
And get closer, too.
Oh yeah, it's the best home movie in the world. I mean, this is not Super 8. This is professionally done.
It's been a hell of a ride, and I can't wait to see what's next.
It's freaking cold.
You got frostbite yet?
In the frigid Canadian North, young pilots seeking adventure
That's why all us guys are up here.
battle the elements in World War II planes. On this episode, a power failure in Yellowknife in the dead of winter.
We're 30 minutes away from everything just blowing up.
And Dwayne struggles to get the Electra to the brink of the North Pole.
I wish Dwayne was here.
Dwayne's in shit.
Hang on to your hats, boy.
The future of Buffalo Airways looks like this: the Lockheed Electra turboprop. After investing millions of dollars in these 1950s-era planes, company president Joe McBryan has been reluctant to spend more money to keep them flying.
I'd rather operate DC-4s than DC-3s, but that era is soon coming to pass with the lack of fuel and the new regulations that are out there.
But with no contracts since last summer, Joe's Electras have spent the winter parked in a snowbank.
I think Friday. Yeah.
So Dwayne Hicks, Buffalo's new senior manager, is working hard to get the Electras flying.
This is the future. There's a lot of opportunity here.
With a damn the torpedoes approach, Dwayne has persuaded Joe to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the Electras ready for action.
Finally, some movement to the positive side of things. Let's get this puppy in here, melt the snow off her, and get her airworthy.
But with no work for the Electra yet, he's playing a high-stakes game with Joe McBryan's money. The Electra is Buffalo's largest cargo hauler and the only big plane in the fleet that runs on jet fuel, rather than avgas, which is nearly obsolete. The Electra flies almost twice as fast as the DC-4, can carry nearly triple the payload of the C-46, and weighs 4 times more than the DC-3.
I gotta go get the battery cart, though.
After wrenching on Buffalo's piston engine since he was a teenager, mechanic Adam Smith has entered the jet age.
Trying to slowly get things going here. But I don't really know what I'm doing, so it might take me a while.
He thinks he's king shit, but he's Fart the messenger boy.
One battery?
He's now tasked with maintaining the jet-powered Electra, and he has a lot of catching up to do.
Elevator going up. Cue the elevator music. Da, 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 da. There. Now. Oh, I heard power. See if we got it. Hey!
For the first time, Adam is working on the Electra without the guiding hand of his mentor, Chuck Adams, who is no longer at Buffalo.
There.
He knows that Adam has quite a hill to climb.
You work on DC-3s and then you go work on Electras, you're not really gonna know your shit, are you? He's gotta learn the systems, the airplanes, and everything. It's gonna take him a long time.
I just kind of like to be a sea otter, float with the tide and everything, but guess I can't do that anymore. It's a 300-hour inspection that I'm taking over from a bunch of other guys. So I don't know what's been done and what hasn't been done. I just have to go through the check sheets and see what they got signed off. It's a huge airplane. It's not a DC-3, it's about 3 times the size.
And so I'm spending a lot of time reading the book whenever I have a problem.
Hydraulic Service Center. Excellent.
You know, Adam's just been thrown on the airplane, and next thing you know, he's on it for 10 hours a day, every day, for how long?
And Adam's still getting a read on Dwayne.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Got a favor.
What?
Big favor.
Is it sexual?
No.
Then okay. I'll listen now. I guess Dwayne was an engineer at one point, but I've never seen him pick up a tool, and he talks about things, but he doesn't really have a clue what's going on around here. He's a yes man.
This has to get serious real quick.
Dwayne's determined to prove he's more than a yes man. He's trying to jumpstart the Electra program. But to do that, he needs contracts and a crew.
You know, Joe's mad, everybody's mad. If you got something going on for this airplane where you're gonna need crews, let's go ahead and do this. Certainly is my intention is to keep at least one crew current on it at all times. We have a f***ing airplane out there that we have to fly. We need some work for it.
Dwayne hears the chief pilot loud and clear, but his leads haven't resulted in any Electra contracts yet. The next morning, cargo manager Kelly Jurasevich's day is not getting off to a good start.
Holy shit! No wonder they f***ing wanted me to close them the best f***ing... Joe throws a f***ing fit if this is open.
She's counting the days until she leaves all this behind for sunny Mexico, where she'll marry her longtime partner, Juan Trescher.
I'm actually really happy right now. Like, I don't know, I never thought Juan and I would ever get married, so I'm like, I can't wait for that day. I don't know if I'll laugh or cry or have to be drunk. I don't know what I'll do. My mind will be set for Mexico here soon, and that's all I'm gonna think about.
Kelly's relying on her niece, Janelle Glenn, to cover for her when she goes away.
Just 1 second, let me check.
We put Janelle in charge of courier, Kelly in charge of the food mail.
Matt, I'm gonna keep you with me to do the food mail.
We started a new regime, and it seemed to be working pretty good.
Food mail and courier are completely different things. My responsibility is to be at courier. Hey, do you have his number?
Me and her are trying to run the show over here, and we're just exhausted. It's burnt us both out. But we'll get through it.
But how will Janelle manage on her own when she has to do both food mail and courier when Kelly goes to Mexico?
I was supposed to be overseer of courier for one, and I'm doing courier. Okay, what is it? Why, where was it? Lost and found.
Sorry to keep you.
Janelle's starting to wonder what she's gotten herself into.
Thank you.
You got a 7/16 gear wrench?
How does that work for you?
Muchos gracias, senor.
Compared to the old warbirds that Buffalo flies, the Electra is high maintenance and high priced. Just one propeller on the Electra costs more than a used DC-3.
Probably about 250 grand, one prop. And then each engine's worth about $1 million. Just for engines and props, you're looking at $5 million.
Getting the Electra program off the ground is costing Buffalo Joe a small fortune.
I put a lot of time and resources into Electras and also our people.
So Dwayne needs to bring in a contract soon.
I had to research what jobs were out there and what that airplane could actually do.
Hey, Dwayne? Yeah. Call for you.
Hello?
Then success.
Okay, great.
Dwayne wins a $500,000 bid to haul diesel fuel to an isolated Canadian Forces station near the North Pole.
Okay, thanks, Kathy. Bye.
It would be the furthest north Buffalo has ever flown. In fact, Alert is the northernmost inhabited place in the world. During the Cold War, the Alert station was the perfect spot to eavesdrop on Soviet communications.
Where we go now makes Yellowknife look like Florida. We're gonna start going directly northeast. We're gonna end up in a town called Resolute Bay, and that's gonna be our staging point. And even there, we're gonna go to the next level, which is literally the top of the world. We're gonna go all the way up to the top of the world, Alert, and that's where we're going to deliver the fuel.
But now, the crew needs some specialized training.
Because of the darkness and the time of year and the place they're going into the Arctic polar night. They had to refresh themselves on Arctic polar navigation.
We're already past the magnetic North Pole. So once we pass here, we're actually going south. Your normal old school instruments don't work. You really got to use satellite navigation, and that's it.
Alert is running out of diesel fuel, so Adam needs to get the Electra flight-worthy right away. But he's learning that the longer the Electra sits idle, the more problems it develops.
Reverse, button. This type of airplane is meant to have power on it all the time, meant to be flying all the time. Sits in a snowbank for 2 or 3 weeks, you bring it in, you thaw it out, you go flying with it, and you got 10 problems.
Adam has discovered that one of the Electra's engines will have to be replaced. And Dwayne's big contract will go up in smoke if Adam can't get it done quickly. In the Buffalo hangar, one of Joe McBryan's Electras is getting a maintenance overhaul.
Like that?
Despite Joe's lack of affection for the turboprop plane.
Joe's been flying around in 1940 aircraft. It's time he changed. Now he's getting into 1950 and late 50 aircraft. Things are really getting modernized around here. It's good.
Our old way of the steam engine and the rusty old tractor, we sort of fade to the back of the yard.
Yabba dabba doo!
Swapping a 3,700 horsepower jet engine is a big challenge.
Hold on.
But mechanic Adam Smith gets it done in record time.
Cool.
Adam's been a big push. You know, he's done a good job.
Make sure no cell phones.
But the next fix needs a more experienced hand. Director of Maintenance Rod McBryan is about to crawl inside one of the plane's jet fuel tanks to replace a fitting.
Who knows what kind of cell phone technology will light off the fuel tank?
That could be a fatal decision.
Yeah, that'd be the last call. Yeah. That's what you call last call. Why?
In spite of the jokes, it's a dangerous job. Even a tiny spark inside the wing tank could ignite the volatile fumes. To avoid inhaling the fumes, Rod wears an oxygen mask.
Want a flashlight?
More air.
More air?
Yeah.
How's that?
Perfect.
Rod's inside the fuel tank here. Thoroughly enjoying himself.
That's for you. Whenever you're ready with the fitting.
Fitting? The not quite so glorious side of aviation.
We're just hooking up the slosh baffler after we installed the fuel tank fitting. It had to be resealed. Pain in the ass to do something simple.
Now they're ready to test the Electra's engines.
I know your Alzheimer's has been affecting you lately, so you might want to go sit in the seat and make sure you remember everything.
I was going to go sit up there and make engine.
Run, 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 run. Putt, putt, kabang, kabang.
Captain Ray Weber is itching to get this plane up in the air.
I get the shakes if I don't fly. Start a withdrawal, I guess.
You must be shaking pretty good by now.
Oh, yeah.
Ray came out of semi-retirement to fly Buffalo's Electras 3 years ago, but he hasn't been very busy.
It's got some good contracts, but then when those are done, it's been kind of sporadic afterwards.
For the first time in months, Ray can fire up the Electra's engines for an engine test.
Yep, we're ready to start.
It's checked here, it's got good power, so we'll turn him on.
The pressure is on. Dwayne won the bid on a lucrative military contract to haul fuel in the Electra.
With an Electra, you know, it's so expensive, the phone doesn't ring off the wall for it. So we have to market this correctly.
I say kudos to Dwayne for standing up for the old man and actually going for business. So all hands on deck, we gotta get the job done.
Okay, now number 4. Okay, we got 10,240 RPM. That's just about perfect. Gearbox light comes on, gearbox light goes out.
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Good baby. Good baby.
The newly installed engine number 4 seems to be working perfectly. But after the run-up, a nasty surprise.
New engine's got a bit of a fuel leak. We did a fuel pressure check inside the hangar and it was all fine. As soon as we go to put fuel to it with some air and everything, it started pissing. Pretty much puts everything back a day.
Meanwhile, over in Buffalo's cargo terminal, it's another frantic day for Kelly.
Holy f***. I'm like a bloody disaster here today. What?
Adding to her stress, Kelly has an appointment to be fitted for her wedding dress this afternoon.
The lady wants to do it today and start altering it because it's going to take her quite a while to do it.
Hi, this is Janelle from Buffalo.
Next door in Courier,
Are these boxes?
Janelle is getting some help from her mother, who's visiting from Alberta.
I told her after the 3rd day I was here, I go, you know what? You deserve a gold medal. Holy.
Janelle is supposed to be managing the courier side,
Copy that.
but she's still doing the grunt work.
It's so much responsibility, especially when it's busy.
Janelle feels her new position isn't what was promised.
You have a FedEx package here to pick up.
So, with her mother's encouragement, Janelle's writing a letter of resignation.
You know, you gotta move on eventually, so now's the time, I think, for me. I'm all nervous.
Don't be nervous, sweetheart.
I'm just shaking. What's wrong with me? You know, I never promised that I would change Courier and turn it all around, you know? Like, I mean, I underpromised and I over-delivered in a lot of ways. Okay, send.
Janelle's resignation comes as a shock to her Aunt Kelly.
She didn't actually tell me she was leaving. And I just went and checked my emails, you know, and all of a sudden there's an email from Greg Perdue in Edmonton, and all it says is, do you know anything about this? And I read down, and it's Janelle's resignation letter. I don't know, man. I'm just like, you know, quite the position here, and I feel obligated to you guys, okay?
Kelly's plans for her wedding in Mexico are suddenly in jeopardy. She'd been counting on Janelle to hold the fort.
Pretty much left me in a really f***ing bad position here, and she knows it, and I don't know what she's f***ing pulling, or why, or what I've ever done to her. I can't quite figure it out. But I'm just pretty hurt right now.
Yeah, some people may have been, you know, surprised, but, I mean, it's not about those people, really. It's about me making a big decision and trying to move forward with my life, you know. Cold, I'm
always some drama.
If it's bad timing, I'm sorry, but I just really think that it's just gonna be a really good thing for me. Sometimes you just have to take that step and move forward. And, you know, along the way, maybe you'll find out what you really want to do, you know?
In the hangar, Adam fixes the fuel leak on the Electra.
This is the FCU, it's the fuel control unit. And we found the FCU leaking and a cracked line. But we think we got it all fixed now. We done a fuel pressure check and it checked out good, there's no leaks.
Let's go burn some of Joe's gas here, make him happy.
We're just gonna go bomb around in the great white elephant.
With the fuel leak fixed, it's time to flight test the new engine. And the retrained crew will also be checked out on this flight.
Okay, we're clear in 4? 4 is clear. Okay, start. Buffalo 1101, now taxiing for departure.
There's only a few days left before Buffalo's biggest contract. It's all riding on this test flight.
Rotating.
Buffalo Airways' newly repaired Electra returns from a test flight and pilot assessment.
It felt really good to get back in the air again. And of course, when we did the rides and the inspector signed our pilot proficiency cards, both Sean and I had big grins on our face.
It's thumbs up, both for the plane and the pilots.
We've got our crews trained. We are on our way.
The start of Dwayne's big contract to haul diesel fuel to the remote Canadian Forces Station near the North Pole is fast approaching. Yellowknife is already pretty far north, but Alert is another 2,600 kilometers further north. Before he sends the Electra to the top of the world, Joe wants to make sure it's ready. He decides to test it on a shorter run first.
I want to run a food mill with it. The boys can go up to Norwell, show their flag, and then the airplane's exercise ready to go to work.
The more you exercise an aircraft, the more you use it, the better an aircraft is. The more it sits, the more it breaks. That's common sense.
Buffalo will use the Electra instead of a C-46 on this week's valley run up the Mackenzie River. The Electra is cost-effective on long hauls, not on short stops. So this test run will be expensive.
We're not talking a couple thousand, we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. But in the meantime, at least we have the crew, we have everybody in place, and we can make that money up in a heartbeat.
Hey, Adam, start it up.
Buffalo 1101 now taxiing for departure, runway 27, right turnout.
Buffalo 1101 radio, roger, runway 27.
Okay, Airways ready. 1101 rolling at
Buffalo 1101, roger.
We had a brand new APU on board. We had a brand new engine. We had basically a brand new crew because they hadn't flown in 8 months.
We're going faster than Justin's used to already here.
Yeah, straight up getting dizzy. Can you guys slow down?
The 4-engine turboprop covers the delivery route in half the time it takes a C-46.
Landing. 50. Plus 3 landing. 19 to 10. Oh, sweet.
Almost ready, Buffalo 1101 down.
The bosses wanted us to exercise the Electra, so we're here in Norman Wells, see how she works. So far, so good.
It looks like the Electra is finally ready for prime time.
I'm ready to move forward. But look out, 100%. Way we go. Let's get her done.
Kelly's been managing both the cargo and courier operations since Janelle walked away from the job. But Kelly's still forging ahead with her wedding plans.
Supposed to get my wedding dress fitted today?
Even though she has no idea how she'll get away to Mexico, since Buffalo hasn't found anyone to replace her yet.
Just go.
Well, I can't just go.
Yeah, you can.
Young pilot Graham Ferguson offers to cover for her while Kelly and her friend Penny take her wedding dress in for alterations.
I should wear one of these down there. How you doing, buddy? Here, do you want me to change into it and then... Yeah. Holy, this thing is long. Look, how many feet you're gonna have to shorten that? It's like the 360 mirror on what not to wear. You can look at my breasts. Jesus, there's enough mirrors.
gonna be awesome with the white socks.
What was I supposed to wear? Okay, do I have to stand over here? Penny's gonna help, because she's gonna tell you exactly what I want done.
Okay, well, she needs this pulled in. Well, let's see where your tattoo is.
I hate that thing.
She kind of wants to cover that.
We're gonna make like a bow there.
Yeah.
Make on the top.
Make a what?
No bows.
I don't want
no
bows.
Yeah, no poof. Cap.
But hers needs way more.
Yeah.
Unless you're giving me breast implants. Do you make those here? Damn. My feet are there somewhere.
And then you're gonna bring it gradual out.
Yep.
It's creeping me out a bit. I can't believe I'm actually gonna get married. Oh my God, am I smart or am I stupid? What am I? Can you dye it black? Oh, damn.
Back in his office, Mikey crunches the numbers for the big fuel haul to Alert.
150 liters to deliver. Oh, no.
When the power goes out, Yellowknife is hit by a power failure.
The whole town is out. Probably some raven landed on the power line.
It's about minus 40 out right now. Pipes freeze up, and once that happens, stuff starts to break. And usually after about 3 hours, with the power being out, they declare emergency, and they have emergency evacuation plans and stuff.
The lights, heat, and computer systems are all knocked out.
Power goes out in Miami for 48 hours, no big deal. But if it goes 48 hours in Yellowknife, it's between life and death for sure. You really feel it, eh?
Yeah, I think we get a Herman here. We're going to see if we get a Herman going in here.
Joe's biggest concern is that the pipes in the hangar could freeze and rupture, causing hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage.
It's cool, not really that. This could be off for a while. It could be 5 minutes, could be 5 hours.
Gas-fired Herman Nelson heaters, normally used to warm frozen engines, are their only hope to keep the hangar pipes from freezing.
I guess Joe wants this Herman Nelson going so we can get some heat in the hangar, but to be honest, I don't know what one Herman Nelson's gonna do for the whole f***ing hangar. We need like f***ing 4 of these f***ing things.
It's kind of like putting a hairdryer in a freezer, but it's all we have right now.
And it's going to get worse.
We're 20, 30 minutes away from everything just blowing up.
A power failure has plunged Yellowknife into a deep freeze.
Scare me, nothing circulating, eh?
Well, that's what I want to heat in here. The power went out. God died. So as we speak, I got to leave and go start a wood fire.
Well, at my house, I still left my wood stove in there, eh?
Joe fuels the fire in his house.
Your shoes.
Then he goes next door to check on his son Rod's house. They don't have a fireplace or wood stove.
Wrapper and swaddling clothes. We're throwing a manger next door.
Rod's wife Sasha and their daughter Emma Ray are getting colder by the minute.
I was showing only people see like lots of chimneys smoking around here. Here's lots of wood stoves, eh? Come over and get warm.
Okay, baby. We're just going over to Grandpa's house.
And there's your extra wood there. Like I told them, after we're done that, then we burn the furniture.
Nice and warm, eh, baby?
This will keep you warm. It did pretty cold in a hurry, huh?
Oh, yeah.
40 below. But I want to see if I got the Hermans going. I don't want any air freezing up in that hangar. Oh, yeah, see you later.
By the time Joe returns to the hangar, the power is back on.
Hey, we got a little bit of emergency at the hangar.
But Buffalo is still dealing with a crisis.
Right now, we're sitting at minus 40. The hangar boiler just went out.
Temperature's way down.
The power failure knocked out the boiler that heats the offices and hangar.
Our heater system's blowing cold air. That's no good. We're 20, 30 minutes away from everything just blowing up. The valve is open.
Rod returns and joins the others in the furnace room. If the boiler isn't fixed soon, the heating pipes in the hangar ceiling will freeze and burst, flooding the place.
See, it's not the heat. On the ground, we're worried about this heat up there where all the pipes are.
Yeah, put, you got any frost fighters left? Yeah, put it in that door there. Okay, I'll open the door, shove the duck in. Yeah.
In addition to the gas-fired Herman Nelson heaters, Joe can now use his electric-powered frost fighters.
No pressure there.
As Rod struggles to get the boiler working, pipes are already freezing. In the passenger lounge, one has burst.
It just blew out like a huge black waterfall of glycol. And the whole passenger terminal was about an inch of water.
We blew the f***ing line in the passenger room and flooded it. Started all by itself.
You gotta make sure we get some heat going. This whole place would freeze up in no time. 40 below, it doesn't take long.
So Rod continues to troubleshoot.
That's the over-temp limit. His ability to learn systems mechanically on the fly is amazing. So he just went in there, looked, and said, well, this is obvious, this goes this, and he figured it all out in his head, and he got it running.
And just in time, before the hangar and planes are also damaged by burst pipes.
We're good.
Buffalo has heat again.
It's like an old submarine.
Soon, it's back to business as usual, with Buffalo Joe sharing a little warmth of his own.
Do that. I got God, what's this booties on here? We don't want to be this warm, do we?
Outside, the crew shifts gears to get the Electra ready for its big mission in the high Arctic.
Hold it. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Got to do 12 trips with the, the max load. Otherwise, we're not going to get the total load in there. So.
The plane has been hired to transport fuel to the military station in Alert, just 800 kilometers from the North Pole.
Good. Next one.
So the Electra is being fitted with 3 tanks that can carry 6,000 liters each.
Easy, hold it.
Let's get this f***ing thing in.
It's ours.
Oh, my mommy told me there'd be these things.
The tanks are on board. Everything looks good to go.
I think we did an extraordinary job for what we had and the timing we worked with.
Okay, down, Cliff.
But just as final preparations for the fuel haul mission are falling into place,
There.
Dwayne heads back to Ontario to squeeze in a visit with his family.
It's actually nice to sleep in your own bed once in a while.
But some people think he's left behind a lot of loose ends.
Dwayne's in shit. He gave us all the work, but none of the tools to do the work yet.
And it's 45 below or whatever the hell it is out there. So everybody's freezing.
Oh, great.
It's supposed to be Kelly's day off.
Okay, you got a phone out there? I actually think it's here. Can you hang on a
But
second?
since Janelle's resignation, she's had her hands full, running both the cargo and the courier departments.
Shit. Usually the days go by really fast, but now that I gotta do this, both sides for a bit, it seems like it's gonna last forever before I leave. I can hardly wait. And I'll be in tomorrow, too. I'll just work 7 days till we figure somebody out.
Buffalo Joe said to me, he says, you know what, I don't think we've shown you enough appreciation. I just want to thank you for all your hard work.
I'll come get you for your cigarette and your coffee.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
That one little thank you means a lot.
Basically, who's left was just Kelly, so I offered my services to help as best I could.
Make all of these into your separate piles by dates. Oh, Lord, shit. Thanks for doing that, Mikey.
Oh, no worries. And me and Kelly had a wonderful date. Actually, we had some fun.
I'm just happy I have my bitch over there to help me today.
Yay!
Hey! It's me and the Mikey McBryan hour.
With Mikey pitching in, Kelly makes it to her final wedding dress fitting after all.
All done.
Awesome. My heart's pounding. Like, oh my God. I'm starting to sweat chunks here. I think it's perfect. I think they did a really good job. I feel like a dork standing in a mall in a wedding dress.
thing then?
Yes, you're a sweetheart. Thank you, and thanks for helping me. Now you gotta get naked with me. Woohoo!
You look really good in that dress. Look like 5 years younger.
I love you.
Yeah,
Wanna marry me?
I love you too. Why not?
Adam? Captain Ray Weber and his crew will need fuel, de-icing services, and accommodations when they're up in Resolute Bay.
From here to Resolute, Resolute to Alert, Alert back to Resolute.
But nothing is in place yet.
Yeah, I wish Dwayne was here because, you know, we got all these questions. I think he went home.
He gets us a job and then he doesn't stick around to follow it through. What a turkey.
With Buffalo's fuel haul mission to the top of the world just days away, Dwayne went home for a little R&R.
And here we are now with possibly trying to leave here Monday. This is Wednesday. Half of Wednesday is gone already, better than. So we got Thursday, Friday. You can't get much done on a weekend a lot of places. And we're expected to leave Monday. So we got 2 days of prep time.
Ray is starting to worry.
People get excited about doing something and they forget the logistics of getting ready. You can't go if you're not ready. I don't see a tag on it that gives you a weight.
And when he and co-pilot Sean Barry check Dwayne's figures, they don't like what they see.
Our max takeoff weight here is going to be 110.
So this is where Dwayne has this big time. He based his whole show on 23,750 pounds of load. You know, we start doing this now, your old man's going to lose money.
And that was takeoff again.
Hey, Dan.
And now, Joe's starting to question Dwayne's figures too.
No, it wasn't a quote. I just ran the numbers and gave them to Hicks. I'll have to get them right from him because we did it all longhand.
Hello?
Hey, Dwayne, it's Mikey.
Mike.
Hey, quick thing here. I'm just doing up the quote for Joe to see because Joe doesn't have anything physical in his hand to see.
For?
For this fuel haul.
Oh, no. I emailed all that to Forbes yesterday.
Forbes is claiming he has nothing, and Joe's on a rampage. What were we carrying per liter on the Electra each trip?
12.5.
12.5. Okay.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye. Double checked and rechecked. Oh, Roxy, Resolute Bay on. Can you phone them and say we need? Geez, we'll need almost like 6 rooms starting February 15th. That's what we get to do the job. $650.
And they're going to put us up?
No.
No, but where's our crew going to stay?
The hotels in Resolute, which is Roxy's phoning everywhere right now. Fuel.
Well, in Resolute, there's only one hotel.
It turns out rooms and meals in Resolute will take a big chunk out of the budget.
It's probably $1,000 a day a person. Resolute is the end of the world, eh?
When Joe finds out Dwayne hasn't planned accommodations for the crew, he takes matters into his own hands.
Maybe you can let me know what is available for accommodation up there.
Considerations, de-ice in res, oh shit.
A lot of other details, like the price of de-icing fluid in Resolute Bay, haven't been factored in the budget.
It is a good contract, but you can blow it with the de-icing alone.
Dwayne is on his way back to Yellowknife as Joe continues to try to sort out the contract.
I want you to realize it's a lot to do for a manpower we have. If everybody gets to the gate, pulls hard, you're most of the time. There's a lot to do.
Joe sends Mikey to pick up Dwayne at the Yellowknife Airport.
My father's worried because he has no real information. And I think Hicks is walking into a shitstorm.
Let's have it, boys.
Oh, we're running around crazy trying to get all the work done.
Aviation's a small world, eh? And that's why everybody knows what you do in this business always comes back if you're good.
But as Dwayne walks into a meeting with Joe, he's about to get some bad karma.
I don't normally operate in the dark.
That you would know
I got to work it different next time because I won't spend the week. What day did you leave here last week?
It was Friday. I went with Rod Friday. Yeah.
The week or the day? Yeah, because I won't operate in the dark again. You know, if you didn't come in today and I dispatched an airplane Monday morning, I wouldn't even know who to phone that was on my way.
It's not the way I do things.
The plane leaves on Monday. Dwayne has just one weekend to pull this job together.
Sophia, so you
Hola.
tell her when to start throwing those. Sophia, I gotta get Kelly on.
You're okay. I love you, Kelly.
Kelly has left all her worries behind in Yellowknife. This is her day in the Mexican sun. And her wedding to longtime partner Juan Treasure is everything she hoped for.
Kelly, wrong finger.
This was the wedding that I dreamt about, the wedding that I always wanted, and the wedding that came true. And I'm really lucky because I found my one true love, and I'll have him for the rest of my life. And it took me a lot of damn years, but I have him. And I'm so happy about that.
After being scolded by Joe over the Alert Fuel Haul contract, Dwayne is eager to redeem himself.
It looks to me like everything is covered.
The only thing is the oil.
Okay, I'll go over that. I got prop oil, hydraulic oil, and engine oil in a usable tote, and then I got backup prop oil, engine oil, and hydraulic oil in another tote.
He personally nails down the final details.
He's ready for us. When we come, I'll call him before we leave.
As they come down to the wire.
All the way in there, Rick. Let's go.
We're, really racing against the clock. Like, we're not in the days, we're in the hours until now when we have to go. So we really got to just pull up our socks and go to work.
To deliver 150,000 liters of diesel fuel from Resolute to Alert, Buffalo's Electra will end up using 140,000 liters of jet fuel.
The North is very strange when you're thinking that you're going to burn just as much fuel in the aircraft as you're trying to deliver it. That just shows how extraordinary a place like Alert is. To get the things there, you got to do extraordinary things.
This is like the harshest place in the world to go to work. At the harshest time of year, right? So it's pretty serious shit.
Take me to the top of the world, Sean Barry.
It's up there. It's way up there. That's the top of the world. New experience, new place to go. The only place in the Arctic I haven't been, so.
It'll be as far away from Joe as I can get without leaving Canada.
Well, Greenland's not that far away.
Rotation. Full and free. I said yesterday we weren't going to get away before noon.
Clear takeoff runway 33.
Everybody's ready?
Ready.
And we're cleared to boogie.
Easy nuts.
Check.
Rotate.
Bringing in this contract could be Dwayne's first big win at Buffalo, but pulling it off successfully is going to take everything they've got.